Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle, and you are joining us here for episode 5 of Tales from Tomorrow, our Fallout 2D20 TTRPG campaign that I'm running with a table of my comrades here, some great friends. You just maybe saw the title cards going by if you were on our Twitch live stream. We are playing with our comrade Sam tonight, which is Comrade Sky. And then we have Raven, which is Mac Ravenblood. We are out Dark Knight, aka Jim, tonight, so they're down a squad member, which fits rather well into the history and the setup of what's going on. Jim had been injured in the past 2 episodes. I believe he has some of his wounds recovered at this stage, but he had a broken arm and a broken leg. So his character being injured and having to sit out what might be these next, well, this session tonight and next session, whatever post February 16th is, whenever we meet next, Jim will be out that one as well. And again, it just seems to make a lot of sense. He's hurt. He's hanging out of the town. And I kind of want to tease this out before we go into a full recap of everything. It is to say that over the last couple sessions, well, specifically the last session, episode 4, our characters came back to the town of Hope, and they set up a caravan trade station. Dark Knight had asked me last week if I was going to get together and update the map for the town of Hope. Absolutely was on the list of to-dos, and it seemed like the perfect time to do it. So now they have this beautiful trade station to work with. It's going to have a windmill on the top, although I believe they're still looking for some uncommon materials to get that part of it done. They got to save some common materials by merging the trade station and the windmill together, so it's sharing a bit of the structure all in one. Makes for a cool spot on the map, as well as they could start to invite some traders by, including maybe Rusty Dusty Bones, who's a little bit of a group favorite over our last couple sessions. So I want to take this time and welcome Sky and Raven aboard. How are you two doing tonight? Welcome and thanks for joining us.
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm excited to maybe do some exploring today.
Indeed, indeed. And Raven, do we have you out there? She's losing power a little bit tonight, so if she goes dark, that'll be why. I see we got a Raven typing. A little bit of an explanation ode to that as well for her character. The Mac is without a microphone, and her character instead has a sort of Robco-designed vocabulator. So we'll hear her type in chat here in just a few seconds, I'm sure. But go ahead, Raven. The floor is yours.
I have a cold in real life and power outages, so I am doing well.
You're doing well, minus feeling ill and, you know, us being in the middle of some super eastern coast of the United States superstorm in February that's just throwing us for a loop. Shout out to all the people who may be in real peril in a situation like this. We already saw that there's a death count of about 9 reported just from yesterday's storm. So really a serious affair, and a reminder that Fallout is not just a universe built on escapism and some fairy tale fun. It is quite well a blueprint of what's going on outside of our windows. Mega companies taking advantage of us and destroying the environment in the process. If you're not so familiar on the history of the pit, something that affects a lot of our players and why they're no longer up in that region, you might want to look into Abraxo's history and what happens when you do chemical dumping under a building for an extended amount of time. Anywho, in our last episode, the comrades had started off in the town. I believe everyone was kind of milling around. Jim was trying to recover from injuries. That's when they went over and built the trade center. They got that all up and running and nicely organized. After that point, I believe Sam and Raven had headed off on an adventure. They wanted to start mapping out the Ohio Bridge area. There had been also an interesting transmission, a kind of Vault-Tec style alert that had come through that the town was able to capture over the radio. Since our adventurers are kind of just had gotten the radio system back online, the town's been very inundated with signals, calls, if you will. There's a lot happening. their Alfred, their Mr. Handy unit is over there serving as a little bit of a switchboard operator, dealing with a bunch of people who are trying to get in touch and reestablish communication. So as they're being inundated with these calls, our heroes went off to go and explore that. They came across a bridge that had a couple cultists on it, something to that effect, something they didn't get to go too much further into exploring, but maybe that'll appear tonight. Maybe it won't. Sam, Raven, I pass this back to you. If you want to give a little recap, things you thought were interesting on your character. Sam, if you want to go first, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about what you're thinking to do today here.
Well, I am quite nervous about this cultist, so I don't know if we'll further explore that until we get old Jim up and running again. Today I was thinking perhaps we could go check out some of those generator supplies we were looking for. We could get a surplus of power. And just generally kind of scavenge around. I mean, maybe, heck, we might be able to find that microscope we've been looking for. I don't know, we can just check some stuff out.
And Raven, what are you thinking about doing here?
I did manage to find some food for the town, but it not enough to keep them going.
Interesting. Where are you two picking up, by the way, in the town? I'll go ahead and put your character icons down.
I can't recall if we went to bed or not.
I think you guys did. Pretty sure.
Well, then we should be waking up. And then the little barrack that we have.
Yes. There's Sam's icon, and there is Raven's icon, and they are over this way, although it doesn't refresh it so easily. I have to press a button. Aha! No, it did it on its own. It just took a second there. Excellent. Okay, there you have it. There's the characters. I will let you guys dive into it. The exploration you have planned tonight will all be theater of the mind, just as a heads up. I don't have any maps for that sort of power supply thing, just so you know if that changes how you want to explore, so be it or not. But that area will all be theater of the mind as we go through there and explore what's what. But I'll let you guys kind of take it away, get in character here, and see what you want to do as I just add in a couple of our extra people to this town.
Alrighty. Good morning, Raven.
Morning.
I'm trying to think about what we should do today. I think to start, we should probably just go check on some of the folks around here. Maybe we'll go get some breakfast.
By the way, as you go outside, it is a sunny day here. People are out milling around as they're taking care of jobs around the street there. People are up and at 'em, busy getting things ready in the town for another day of surviving the wasteland. New maps, I'm popping new people.
I should drop the rad stag meat off at Tom.
Well, we can do that. We can go check on Tom.
Okay, you guys do as you will. I will accommodate.
Rat-a-tat tap on the door. Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Hey, Sam. Morning to you. How are you today? Welcome aboard. What you up to?
Oh, doing nothing much. We're thinking about heading out today. Although, Raven here has some rad stag meat. I don't know where you'd like us to put it. We did some hunting the other night.
Oh, not in here, that's for sure. Get that old rotten carcass out of here. You've been holding on to that all night? You guys can take it over to the cafeteria, I suppose. What you doing with it in your area? Carrying that, though. That's gross.
Yeah. She's an interesting one. I did want to ask you something, though.
Sure,
You had
what's up?
mentioned a while ago about, someone in the jail who had been locked up. They had been acting a little bit weird, almost feral. You mind showing me?
I mean, sure, I could lead you over there. Not really my thing. Jacob's been, he's the doctor, but sure, I'll take you there if you want.
Oh, if Jacob's been dealing with him, then I'll give him a chat and see what's on his mind. I'll pick his brain about it.
Sure thing. Hopefully he's in good shape. Last time I heard from him, not the case. So just be mindful. That's all I got, though. Stay safe in there if you choose to go in.
I appreciate it, Tom. I'm gonna go check with Jacob. I don't know if Raven was gonna finish saying something to Tom.
Yeah, you're welcome to, Raven.
Hey Tom, I got 4 radian stag meat for you guys. And silly I skinned the rad stag. But okay, I will head to kitchen.
Yeah, try not to carry that stuff around. That'll probably not a good, healthy way to be living your life there, Raven. Rad stags, may have some big ticks on them, too. You never know. Maybe you get yourself checked out for that as well. So you guys are going different ways at this point, I think. Sam, you're going over to Jacob's, and Raven, you're over at Terry's shop. Okay, Sam, why don't you go ahead, knock on the old theater, go on in, see Jacob's, you let me know what you want to do. You guys are off the beaten path for me, so feel free. I will accommodate you 100%. Lead away. It's your game.
How's it going, Jacob?
Morning, Sam. Good to see you. How are you? Keeping busy over here? Doing a little
same here.
Redecorating of the place, making some extra room.
It's looking great.
Well, I'm hopeful it won't be filled with people again soon.
Me too. Tom was telling me that there was someone who seems to have come under some ill effects, likely from some of that pink stuff. So I was wondering if you could, take me to them and kind of, give me a breakdown of what's going on.
Sure. They're just in the bottom of the jail over there. You guys, I think already had Raven held up. So not anywhere new for you, but just to say that one's kind of gone feral, seemingly looking and starting to act like any of those ghouls out there in the wasteland. I'm thinking at this stage, we've got to probably put him down fairly soon. It's not much humane to just be keeping him in a cell. And I got nothing that can do anything against that. I just hope people stop eating the stuff. But if you, like you said, it could be from the pink goo. Seems to be the most obvious connection. But people are starving, man. They need food. In fact, unfortunately, there's already rumblings. We're going to lose a couple more people from the town here without power. So that's not ideal situation for us, I'll just say. I'm not looking forward to losing some new hands if things aren't put under control. But we gotta do something. We gotta get this place back up and running.
Well, we're going to go out. We're going to check out some supplies, try to get some scrap to make some more generators. Maybe find some useful tools. You really think there's no option for that fella? I mean, do you think maybe if we had a little bit more time, we wouldn't have to put him down?
Well, look, you're welcome to go in there, but I think he's gonna chew on your face. It's less human than monster at this stage. I don't know that any of those effects can be reversed. I've never had good luck trying to turn a ghoul back into a person before. But I mean, theoretically, anything's possible out here in the wasteland. You could try. You could just see what comes your way. But he's mighty feisty, I'll say. But if you want to go down there, you are a doctor. You might have some extra insight on him, more than I know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll check it out. Thank you for your time.
Lena might be over there too, by the way. She often gets her day started running diagnostics on those Protectrons. So maybe you see if she's got anything to help with.
I appreciate the input. Hey, and I kind of like reach over and there's like a little vial, and I ask him, "Can I borrow this?"
What sort of vial are you looking to take?
You know, like almost like just a small glass one.
Oh,
I would like to
sure.
get a sample of this stuff.
Sure. Yeah, that's no problem, Sam. You got that. It's totally fine.
I appreciate it, Jacob.
Come
You're
on
always a
back
big help.
through
Thank
if you
you.
need anything. We don't really have much to analyze it over here, but I can give it a second set of eyes if you need.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go into here
Okay.
and take some off this plate.
Okay.
And very carefully take out my pocket knife and just scoop some of it in there.
As you go in, the place is pretty bumping in the morning. There's a couple people sitting at the tables eating the pink goo. I mean, it's not in the shape of goo. It's more like pink colored donuts and cereal. It's they're sitting down. The people are chatting like normal. I'd say this place is about just as busy as the cafeteria is up the street there. Given the amount of seats in there, you probably got about a good 5-6 people milling about in there while you're going in. Oh, sorry, given the town, we'll say four people are in there. They see you come in. People kind of greet you. Morning. How are you? They go back to kind of eating and talking with one another. A couple of the people in there, I'll say at least two of the people in there, we'll say there's two groups sort of split up amongst these tables. And at least one person out of each of those groups is looking a little, staring off pretty vacantly. Whether it's just a long night, maybe they're getting off a guard duty. Maybe it's from what they're eating. But, yeah, a couple people in there when you go in to take a sample.
Kind of wave my hand in front of one of those people who have just seemed just kind of staring off in the distance, and I point to their little donut and I say, "Hey, can I borrow a piece of this?"
As soon as you wave your hand in front of that person's face, without even really looking at you, they raise a hand and slap yours out of the way. Very dismissive, and they don't even really give you much of a thought, other than a very swift, or very, very actually heavy hit for what it is. Like they're not just lightly slapping you on the wrist, but just full on like impacting. Get out of my way. If you want to ask that question, you're still welcome to do so.
I'd like to turn over to maybe the person who's sitting with them, who maybe isn't in this state, and ask them the same question. Your friend there looks a little bit hangry. Doesn't want me touching it. So, do you mind if I have some of yours? I just need a little bit.
Let's see. The person looks at you with all I can describe as sort of paranoid eyes, like deer in the headlights. They look at you almost like they're seeing a ghost. It's just a very startled, uncomfortable look on their face as they look at you very like questioningly and go, get your own food, man. Just, it's over there. This is mine. It's not for you. Get your own. Sorry, it's been a long night. And he kind of just he ducks his head away from you, just back into the food, like kind of just cold shouldering and ignoring you.
Roger that.
So
Thank you for your time.
He does not respond. Does not
I make my
respond.
way. I go ahead and just make my way to the window, Maddox, and go ahead and take a fresh one.
What do you want? What are you getting out of there? Now, as a reminder, for flavor of this in this town, folks, anyone that's catching up on this later, this is sort of a trial Slocum Joe's establishment in which they were working with what is above table. Our players all know this already, effectively above table. It's about keeping the characters in the dark. But above table, that this is the nutritional paste program food that we've seen in other Fallout games. And it's brought here in this town that Slocum Joe's is effectively using this stuff. They get the paste in their shipment form, sort of processed from a factory, and they plug it into these sort of machines that Sam is standing in front of, which are like a Vendomatic sort of thing. They sort of spit out the pink goo shaped into foods that you would recognize. Think like those cupcake printers or the pizza printers that we have out there in the real world now, where they can sort of craft you something from your top. A very similar thing. You go up there, you say like you want cereal, and you get these sort of, I mean, it's not goo. It comes out in an approximation of the texture of what you expect. So there's like a cereal dispenser there, and it spits out the cereal. You know, you got one that makes donuts over there, and you can get, you know, this like pink frosted donuts. All I can explain to your characters in regard to the color and such is that it doesn't read as disgusting. Like the way it's presented here, the fact that it's not paste is sort of what is attracting people to it. Because to many people that have no idea what this could be, it really just looks like they've got a easy access to some of their favorite foods from before the bombs dropped. Whether or not it has the exact same taste is hard to say. I mean, who remembers exactly from 25 years ago how delicious a Slocum Joe's donut was? But Sam, do you have a preference of what you're going to take out of here?
I'm going to reach in and grab a donut, and I'm going to cut off a piece of it and kind of just shove it into this vial.
Sure.
The rest of it, I'm going to put into a bag and just stuff it in my bag for now.
Sure.
And then I will head out, meet up with Raven in the cafeteria.
As you go in there, it looks like maybe Raven and Terry are already having some morning chats. I'll put him over there at your table, Raven. And he's over there. Before Sam gets here, Raven, I'll toss it to you. Just say, Terry greets you when you come on in, and he probably helps you get some of that rad stag meat over to the kitchen that's nearby, the kitchen that's just in the room next door. You don't have to move your character icon or anything like that, but just as a reminder to some of the people here that there was sort of a bit of a showroom next door. Seeing a kitchen of the future is sort of what was up there. And in that kitchen of the future, they've turned it into a real kitchen. In my kind of rebuilding of the map, I figure that this cafeteria probably wasn't actually much of a cafeteria before the war. Instead, I'm sort of imagining this served as a little bit of a local banquet hall that people were in. So in this case, the wastelanders have makeshift the kitchen of tomorrow next door into the actual kitchen for the banquet hall. They just go right out through this little alleyway door right next to my little Vault-Tec logo over here, everybody. You can see those two blue doors. So Raven, you go down there, you know, that other room, you sort of drop off some of that meat. I believe we talked about it was a ghoul in there who was cooking up food before he greets you and thanks you for bringing all that stuff by. And then you make your way back in, I'm guessing, Raven. You grab some breakfast. There's still an open buffet banquet if you want to take anything in particular. Mostly it's Terry's canned goods still. That's about all they've got for food. So they might be able to start making some rad stag meat, ribs, something to that effect. We could look that up. Could do that now. What Raven's typing.
Morning, Mr. Terry. Hope this helps feed some bellies for today. I will grab a cram.
Raven, that's great. Honestly, you bringing this in here, hell, we can make some real good stuff out of that. Rad stag stew is a big popular one around here. You know what? before you head out of town, you make sure you go check back in with the chef over there. I'm pretty sure he'll get you a couple things of rad stag stew for your trip on the road. I want to say to both Raven and Sam, if you guys want to, they will present you with at least one rad stag stew each. So if you want to add that to your inventory just now above board again, sort of, just so you have it in your inventory. But one apiece, and it gives you a pretty significant boost. It'll 12 health is healed, plus it will do 3 energy damage resistance into the end of the next scene. So for probably at least one session. It is strips of rad stag meat with vegetables and some alcohol cooked to make a thick, hearty stew, filling and satisfying. The stew will also help fortify the body, making you more resistant to extreme heat for a while. So he thanks you for that. And yeah, Raven, make sure you get some of that before you get out of town here, whatever you guys are up to today. That'll be a nice little helper.
Much appreciated, Terry.
Thanks, Mr. Terry.
Oh, thank you. What's your game plan for today? What are you two up to?
I'm just thinking about doing some scavenging. Got some other things to take care of, but we're going to try to get some stuff for the generator, and maybe we'll find some more food.
I bet you can. That's if you get those generators up and running, man, that'd be great. We could actually get this place back to stuff. Get people. Water's our big issue. I'll tell you the honest truth. I'm not trying to talk about it too much, but you know, old Terry here doesn't have an infinite water supply, and part of the problem we're hitting is that too much power, too much strain. I'm not able to get all my bottles filled for people. So, anything you guys could do would be mighty helpful.
Most definitely. Hopefully, with the new trade caravans coming in, that might tide us over for a little bit while we get this up and running.
Yeah, hey, oh man, actually, I mean, I gotta tell you, I know Tom might be the guy to want to tell you this a bit too, but some developments you should be aware of. We did reach out to Rusty, got in touch with him. He got back in touch, I should say, with us. And it does seem like he'll be coming up this way soon enough, probably in about a week or so, gathering his stuff, coming back from another mission in between, doing another round. But he'll be up here, and the hell of a story I gotta tell you. I can hardly believe it myself, but it's all the rumbling at Foundation, Sam. Can't keep this quiet for long. There's talk of them trying to reestablish some railways throughout Appalachia. Can you believe that that's on the table? I don't know if I do myself, but they're saying with all that gold came great opportunity or something. So I'm just saying we might be sitting on the brink of some kind of new gold rush up here.
That would be mighty incredible if it all goes through. Is that Blue Ridge is doing?
Well, it seems to be a bit of a joint partnership between Foundation, Blue Ridge, who's playing a little bit of a middle game here, and they even say that some of the raiders from the crater, I don't know if you've been down that far, but some raiders in that region might be helping this come together. And I don't know where they're all going yet. There's rail lines that stretch Appalachia, and most of them are busted and dead-ended. And what I can't imagine, though, is with all the destruction to roadways, how the hell are they going to get rails going up in any kind of meaningful order? I've said the word on the streets, robots, but I don't know. They got an army of them, maybe?
I couldn't tell you. What I will say, though, is that, human beings are pretty scrappy. About 25 years ago, when all this first started happening, you wouldn't expect any of the hope to be here. But alas, we've made it through, so.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Sam. You're not wrong. I've just been a little bit of what can I say? Lazy bones town trader recently. I got a little bit comfortable sitting around here and making do with what reserves we got. But if they're really gonna actually loop us into the rest of the region, well, that'd be a hell of a to-do, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Sounds like you'll be really busy.
We just got to get ourselves on the map, man. We got to get ourselves on the map. That's probably an important part of it. They're going to, anything that comes up this way is going to hit us last, I'm sure. Getting foundation and the rest of its important things are the major to-do. But there's even talk about getting that lumber mill loop back in, that it's got big tracks down there. I don't know if you've been that far ever. But there's a big lumber mill down the way. Maybe heard about it when you were with Rusty. That'd be mighty fine to have that kind of ability, engineering and industrial machinery at our disposal.
He did mention something like that. But on the bright side, we may be last on everything coming up, but we are first on everything coming down. So you never know if there's something lucrative that comes down this way. We'll be the first to know.
Well, that is a good idea. I heard, by the way, that you found some folks out on your travels yesterday. Tom gave me a little rundown. You found some cultists or something? Not Mothman, I'm hoping.
Not Mothman. They're an interesting bunch. Got infinity symbols on their chest. Some sort of orb worshipping group. Didn't get too much detail, but they really trust this orb. I'd like to lay my eyes upon it.
Well, you might be able to open up some trade routes that way too, whether with their blessing or with them not being a part of the equation anymore. I'd prefer new trading partners, but not everyone in these parts is so amicable when you want to pass through their backyard. But
they seemed
go ahead.
They seem friendly enough, but I don't want to put all my eggs on one basket yet. I'd like to get a little bit of a bigger group together before we travel that way alone with no way out.
Above board, I just want you to know those guys, like I messaged in the DMs the other day, whether you want to fight them or go after them or work with them is completely your choice, but they are a lower level sort of thing in that it does not require a full group. So if you guys want to do that or not, just so you're not waiting around for DK for like 3 weeks or anything to progress the storyline. It's again your choice. One of the radio signals you picked up on is over that way. That is timely, by the way. Those radio signals here and there, they'll sort of blink in and out of availability over time. Just so, again, you guys aren't waiting on a third person for an extended period. It again, is your choice. You don't have to interact with anything. So I'm not trying to, railroad you to them. But there is stuff over there to explore. And it's all level appropriate for all of you guys.
Okay, sweet.
Raven's typing out something, too. Well, Sam, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a heck of a journey around here. Everything's a slog. Whether you can get past them or not, it's up to you. But we could certainly use more help now. I'm afraid this morning we already had 2 more people leave out of the town overnight. 2 people packed up. One of them was a guard. One of them was just one of our farmers. So we're down a helping hand over there. Not unexpected. We can't really take care of all the mouths we have at the moment, so whatever you're able to do will be helpful.
We will put in the work for sure. We definitely don't want anyone else leaving. We need every hand on deck that we can get.
Raven, you had something? Nope. Okay. Raven has nothing then. You guys can decide what you want to do here, whether you want to sit with Terry any longer, ask him any more questions, or whether you guys want to kind of meander out onto your own.
I'd like to finish up eating and drinking, and I'd like to go check out that prison cell. You're more than welcome
Sure.
to join Raven. There's just I'd like to get an eye on it.
Yeah, say maybe we can help them.
That's what I'm hoping.
So you make your way out down the street into the what used to be a prison, what's now sort of serving the purpose again, if you will. You walk in, there is one of the police protectrons in the charging station as Lena's tapping away at the keys there. Morning to you. Good to see you guys. How are you?
Good morning, Lena. Doing well. I see you're busy.
Yeah, what are you up to? She is tapping away on the keys.
We had heard from Tom and Jacob about your roommate that you got in here. I'd like to get a look at them, if you don't mind.
Oh, at your leisure. They're kind of loud. I closed up the door, hollering and screeching for hours on end down there. So just be careful. I haven't been down there myself in a good day or so.
Much appreciated. I'll go downstairs and...
Was I like this, Sam?
Not this bad. I don't know yet. But we'll see.
So you go down the stairs, and underneath of the police station is a bit of a larger blueprint than you have up above. Not too much larger, but it's sort of almost a straight corridor of cells on both sides. The lights are pretty low down here. There's kind of some flickering fluorescent lighting, and you hear silence, oddly enough, whenever you open the door. There's no discernible sounds coming out of the basement. Lena, seeing you open that door, says, well, that's either a good or an ominous sign. Maybe you make sure to poke them and see if they're alive still.
Above board question.
Yeah.
Are they like in a cell? Like, are they behind something so that like if we go down there, they'll be locked up in something?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll head down and go check it out.
Okay. So I presented you with that scene above you. You can decide what you want to go up and do. Row of cells in front of you and no discernible noises coming out of them. There's about 4 cells on each side, let's say.
I take something, maybe like the butt of my weapon, and kind of like hit it against the bar to make some jangling sound.
Nothing. By the way, I'll just say it's not in the first 2 cells that you can see. So if you want to proceed down this kind of corridor in front of you, you can. I'm going to assume you hit the bars of a cell that's presumably empty at the very entrance based off of what you said. Yes, if you want to go down the rest of the way too, you can. So far, no howling, no nothing like that.
I'll take step by step, looking through first cell, nothing. Further step, look at the second cell, I don't see anything. And then a further step, and I look in the third cell and check it out.
Fluorescent light flickering overhead, giving you kind of a bright illumination of where you stand, semi-bright of the center path, but it does shine, like has a lot of shadow into the cells that are there. And I'd say it's about the time you hit your rifle butt up against the second grouping of cells that Sam hears a very quick screech as a hand shoots through the bars. Sam, if you're close enough to hit this thing with the butt of your rifle, which I'm presuming you are based off of what you said, it is going to grab with that one hand your rifle butt there. Just that. That's all it has. One hand onto your rifle butt.
Can I roll an athletics check to kind of rip it out of its hand?
Sure, absolutely, go for it. Strength and athletics. First roll of the night. Great. That is perfectly enough. You can pull free of it, and you see this hand that's sort of just staying outside of the bars after it lost grip on you. It is a kind of gnarled hand. There's sort of lesions upon it. The skin is noticeably pinker in shade. Hard to tell exactly what sort of injury might cause this sort of effect, but the hand just remains as you kind of see the rest of it still cloaked in a bit of shadow.
Raven, do you mind shining your light on him?
Might be a little too much of dramatic music for what this is. I don't know if I got something spooky. Let me see here. That's kind of outdoor spooky. I don't know that I got a perfect underground spooky for this, but...
Look out, Sam, here, mean one. Yes, I got my flashlight.
Raven's using her flashlight, you said, then?
Yes.
Shines...
The flashlight flicks on.
And you see kind of like gold-colored eyes sort of reflect out of the cell at you as you see someone in there whose face has sort of started to slough off the skin off of their skull. It is a rather a grotesque sight within there. And as you shine that light on it, Raven, now it just begins to howl and screech. And the other hand is now trying to reach out of the cell in your direction, groping like in just general grasps at either of you, whatever it can get a purchase on.
I'd like to roll. Okay, so I noticed something about it, and I'd like to roll a medicine intelligence check to see if I maybe get the vibe that I'm getting from it.
Okay, go for it. Sure. By the way, since these have no difficulty to them, these don't generate AP. These last two rolls, just a heads up, just so people don't think I'm forgetting that. Okay, sure. With 2 successes, what are you looking for, Sam?
I'm looking at its veins. I'm looking at its veins, and I know. I mean, is there like it's a glimmer almost? It's the pink, just flowing in the veins.
Okay. What does that tell Sam?
I store it in the back of my mind, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach into my bag, right? And I'm going to pull out that donut, and I'm going to rip off a piece of that donut, and I'm going to throw it into the cell with it and see what it does.
Ooh. Okay. As you go to do that, Sam, throw the donut in there. Much like the guy in the cafeteria, based on how this thing rolled, it, without even almost spending too much energy or looking away, grabs the donut sort of midair with its one hand, and as the other one's still reaching through the bars at you two. It's as if its reflexes are somewhat heightened, and it has the ability to act very, very reflexively to you.
All right, I reach into my bag, and I start talking to Raven, and I say, Raven, I'm gonna need your help. I'm gonna need you to grab it. I need you to grab one of those arms whenever I give you the cue. And I reach into my bag, and I pull out one of these empty RadAway containers, because they look like empty IV bags, and I'm gonna clean it out with some purified water.
Okay.
It seemed like rusty but wild, Mr. Sam. Okay, Mr. Sam, if you think it best.
When you grab it, I'm gonna grab its arm as well. We're gonna try to pull it and just keep it locked on the bars. Essentially, I'm gonna try to stick it with this needle and get some of its blood.
Okay.
So you're holding him down, Sam, or Raven's holding him down? Raven's gonna try and hold the hand.
Yeah, Raven's got one arm, and then I'll grab the other arm,
Sure.
and kind of grab it and then try to stick it.
Ooh, okay. Why don't we do then? We'll do sort of a group contested roll here. Whichever one of you wants to roll a strength in athletics probably is the most sensible to start, since you're doing a grab action. And then it's going to roll contested. So one of you can roll your dice, see what your total is, and the other one's able to roll one die to accompany that. We'll take that amount. Okay, so Raven's leading it with 1, and then Sam, you can join in on that. We'll take the first die on the left for your score here. So success of 1 for Raven.
I will hold the left arm, Sam.
And no success for Sam. So let's see. Lucky you guys. He rolls very poorly and fails to resist. We'll say especially fails to resist Raven as she reaches and grabs the arm and tries to pin it up against the side of the jail cell. And Sam, go on in. You can make your effort here.
I'm gonna pay just 1 to get an extra die.
Sure. What are you rolling for right now?
I didn't know if I was gonna try to do. I don't know. I thought I might have been doing an athletic strength as well.
You just did.
Okay, sweet.
You're good.
Okay. So
yeah. Continue. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to press the button. Maybe a medicine. I can see if that works.
You're just trying to get blood from its vein, or
yeah.
Yeah, you're fine to go ahead and do that. You don't need to roll for that one. So his arm is out there, and go for it. You're all good. Tell us what you're doing here.
I take the butterfly needle, I stick it in his vein, and the blood. I mean, it's almost pink. You know, it's not quite red. It's almost pink. It starts flowing into the cleaned out sterile RadAway bag, and fills it up. And I put it in the bag and tell Raven, go ahead, let him go, and take a step back, and I'll throw the rest of the donut in there for him.
And this time we'll say it does not manage to reach and catch anything that you throw in that cell. Instead, it just it doesn't even react to the donut being thrown in there this time. It just, both arms out of the cell, snarling and screeching and clawing and just trying to grab hold of whatever it can. Not interested in the donut, not interested in any one of you particularly, but just to get a hold of either of you or both of you.
Well, let's get out of here, Raven.
You two turn and part as it continues to just screech and yell and bang and clank against the sides of the cage, especially louder as you're moving further and further away. I'm assuming you're going upstairs now.
Yeah, go upstairs. Say hi to Lena.
What the hell's going on down there? That thing sounds like it's ripping the place apart. You two okay?
We're good. It's a bit too unhappy with us. We gave it a bit of a doctor's exam, and it's not happy.
I don't know what that is, but well, as long as you're both okay, that's what matters. I will warn though, if I don't feel safe other people going down there. I gotta be honest. Can see about the Protectron taking some more food down for it, but them, I don't know what to call it anymore. Is it a person or not?
I don't know. I'm hoping that there's still a shred of humanity in there. You know, it may look bad, but you know, those ghouls look bad too. They're still people.
Well, to a certain point, but there's a time when they're not anymore.
I know, but you know, stranger things have happened in the wasteland.
Well, that's true.
Hey, I turn out okay, Lena.
Well, yeah, but your skin didn't slough off. maybe with enough time. But anyway, those other people we had to kick out of town. I don't know what sort of shape they're in. Some of the others that had turned that we sort of forced out.
Mhm. Well, even if we can't save the people who have already been affected, maybe we can save future people. Who's to say that, you know, this kind of stuff or whatever caused this isn't in other areas? Who's to say that, you know, there might not, much like the Scorch Plague, you know, we don't know how bad this could get.
Do you know about the Scorch Plague?
I had heard about it. Someone had mentioned it to me recently.
Yeah, well, we're not too inoculated up in these parts. That's a mighty fine mission to consider as well. If that scorch stuff makes its way up these parts, I feel like we might be pickings for that too. Whew, which adds a mighty fine list for me to do here.
Seems like the lists keep getting longer and longer, but day by day, we'll keep knocking them off.
That's right. That's the wasteland for you.
I appreciate your time, Lena.
Stay safe out there, Sam.
We'll be on our way out.
You too, Raven. Be good. I'll be back to work here, getting our things all situated. Warning that we'll take a break in about 8 minutes here, so everyone can take a 10-minute break as we AFK and get something to drink and all the good rest. So, anything you two, what are you off to now with your haul? You got blood. You got a sample of a donut.
So, here's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of break this down with Raven. I'm thinking, yes, we do it. We had some time stuff. We do. It would be nice to get to the get to see where those distress beacons are happening. At some point, I would like to take this stuff over to a nice machine that we know that may have the technology or any type of wits about being able to look at some of these samples that we collected and at that radio tower, that Modus. I know Jim said that there was something deeper under there that he was in, so who knows what kind of technology that he has.
Above board. That's a really great idea. I really like that.
You trust that, eh?
AI.
I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but seeing as how we're short a whole bunch of biologists and who knows what kind of scientists would be going into developing this kind of stuff, and we also don't have a laboratory, that seems like the only option that we have right now.
Well, okay then.
But we can keep it on the back burner for now. I do want to scavenge for some supplies. Maybe we can do that while we're out. We'll take a couple days and travel.
Ooh.
We should maybe get the power gen up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm thinking we do that first, then potentially we can come back, get their power situated, and then go on a trail. Above board, how long is it to the radio tower?
Oh, to the radio tower? 24 hours. That's
Yeah.
about that full day's worth about.
Yeah. We've got plenty of IRL time to do something like that.
Yes. So yes, a little bit above board. I have some maps you might like for red rocket stations in case you're looking for generator stuff. That would seem to be a sensible place to look for supplies, fuel, and otherwise. And I have multiples of those, so that's sort of, they're all kind of unique maps I've been hoarding on the side here. So I've got a couple of those that you guys could go through. as I said, you are welcome to explore those signals, though they won't, I want to just be clear from earlier, because I do not want to railroad people in any one direction. Those signals will bleep in and out of detection, mostly because the things that they told you last time. There's just a lot of signals in this region, a lot of things like more pressing. Many of you that have played Fallout yourself, your Pip-Boy, for example, can get quite overwhelmed really quickly with the amount of quests you have active in there at once. And it's sort of kind of like that vibe, that this whole region's sort of coming back to life, or at least desperate, separated groups of people are all sort of trying to get back in touch with one another. So you do know that there was a radio signal on the other side of the bridge. I believe there's also a radio signal mentioned north in the town of Hope. That one, though, I would like to develop more of a map for the one that's north in Hope. So it's something I don't have ready for today, but that doesn't stop people from going that way if they so choose. I do think that, in your conversations with Tom and Terry over the last little bit, they would probably, again, flag for you that if you're looking for generator parts, that, again, Red Rocket stations, they could probably give you some locations on the map. And if you are looking to go the whole way down to the radio tower, you definitely could do that. I mean, it's about 4 hours to the Ohio Bridge, and a little bit further to go that way. You might, since you're moving with a smaller group even, and I think Raven has a perk for it, you might be able to take some time off of that journey. So I could pop that into the little calculator whenever we do our AFK break here. But also there was the thing about haste that was added in last time, that you can take some of these things at a hurried pace, which does increase your chance of a bad guy spawning in per se. But yeah, and it gives you a little bit more fatigue, I think, if you want to hurry. But it could cut your journey down by quite a good bit. I think between the two of you, your lowest player agility, I want to think is an 8. And Raven, maybe you could check that one perk card for me too, about you kind of your speed boost perk card, just so I know what that one does again. Because it's something about reducing your time.
So I would say, I guess, before the AFK, our plan is to probably hit one of those red rockets first, get the parts that we need, come back, do what we need to do with that, and then perhaps trek out to the radio tower.
She has 2 perks that would work for this in tandem. She's got Pathfinder when traveling over long distances through the wilderness. Okay. You're not technically going through the wilderness? I don't know. We'll see in a second. You successful survival plus perception reduces the time travel by half. So that could work. And then she has Nomad on a survival test to travel, set up camp, and forage for food and water. You ignore the first complication rolled when making those tests. You can barter and do speech tests, increase your difficulty. Wait, barter and speech tests increase their difficulty and complication rate. Wow. Oh, wow. That's an interesting trade-off. So Max Nomad card makes her better for survival stuff, but worse for barter and speech. That's so interesting. That's appropriate. That's really good. Wow. Dang, Raven, I did not know that. That's interesting. Yeah. So why don't we do that then? We'll plan on that being the mission here as we get back from our break. You guys can decide on heading out if you so choose. The world's your oyster, though. You can I'll check the overall map and just see some distances and where all you want to travel, and we can go from there. To everyone hanging out with us at home on Twitch and over on YouTube, thanks for being here. We're just going to go to a quick AFK screen for about 10 minutes so you can get up, grab anything you need. Was there any outstanding questions from the comrades here before we do that?
I'm solid.
Okay. See you in 10 minutes, everybody. Here we go. Need more frogs, says Smack. Oh, I don't hear anything from this. Oh, I see the problem. There we go. Whoop. Fixed it.
and my rocket 69.
Rocket 69, rocket 69.
Our American way of life. Isn't it grand? Peace, freedom, and bacon and eggs. Seems perfect. But what if it's not? Friends, your future may not be as secure as you think. Where will you be when the atomic bombs fall? You can secure your family's future by reserving a spot in a state-of-the-art underground vault from Vault-Tec. That's right, Bob. Act now, and your family can wait out the horrors of nuclear devastation. And Doris, the vault will have all the amenities of your modern-day home, and it's attractive. And Sally, in the vault, you might meet that special someone, just as you would on the surface. And in a few short years, you and your fellow vault dwellers will repopulate our great country. And Billy, you'll have lots of swell kids to play with. Reserve your family spot in a state-of-the-art underground vault today. Sign up now and prepare for the future.
Got a doll lady, I love her so. Nothing else like her anywhere you go. Man, she's anything but calm. Regular pint size at mushrooms me right up on a cloud. She's just the way I want her to be. A million times harder than TNT.
Here we are, son, our nation's capital.
There's nothing to do here. I'm bored.
Nothing to do? Why, there's not a foot of this town that isn't packed with heroes and history. It's not called the capital for nothing. Right, Tom?
That's right, Abe. In fact, every year, millions of tourists come to enjoy our beautiful nature and advanced technology. Right, George?
Ah, yes, we've seen so much over the years, and there's more to come. But one thing's for sure, we'll always be here, no matter what happens.
Wow, Dad, I guess there really is a lot to see here.
Glad you changed your mind. Let's go see what we can see.
How about you? Are you ready to see what you can see? We're waiting. Explore the nation's capital. Traffic is terrible and getting worse every day. Go Metro. Avoid pollution, congestion. It's the smart way. Remember, on Sundays, everyone rides free. And now, meet the Metro Protectron.
Tickets, please.
Metro's newest answer to your commuting calamity.
Tickets, please.
He's programmed for speed, efficiency, and friendliness.
Good morning. It's a great day.
See why the Metro Protectron makes your commute faster and safer.
Tickets, please.
Vault-Tec presents Growing, Growing, Growing Up. You're growing up. And other things are changing too. You know what that means. Pip-Boy 3000. Part of your life. With Pip-Boy, all life's answers are in sight.
Pip-Boy 3000, part of your life. Pip-Boy 3000, part of your life. With Pip-Boy, all life's answers are in sight. That's right.
Today's episode, Being a Better You. In life, we must each deal with the hand we are dealt, performing our assigned role to the best of our capacity. But after total atomic annihilation, you may find the hand you were dealt has been reshuffled. Yes, gone are the simple days of yesteryear. Now the common workman must also be a covert operative. The farmer, a master of the martial arts. The ice cream man, a nuclear physicist. How will you make sense of it all? Simple. Turn to your official Vault-Tec training materials. With these powerful tools in hand, you'll learn to make the most of your natural abilities and better understand what makes you special. Use them to be the best you can be, or someone even better. Your survival depends on it. With your future secure, share your newfound knowledge with others for great benefit. But remember, there's power in diversity. Sometimes who we are isn't a choice at all. In fact, at a particular point in your young life, you may notice that your body has begun going through certain unfamiliar changes. No, it's not puberty, it's mutation. Thanks to our old pal radiation, your DNA has become more interesting. See here? You've now gained the unique abilities of a marsupial in exchange for a mild neurological impairment. Now you've learned how to be a better you. You are completely prepared to achieve your full potential in the role of your choosing. As a hand-picked resident of Vault 76, it is your duty to carefully review your Vault-Tec provided films yearly to fully prepare for the day when you will emerge.
I'm a doctor.
I'm a housewife. I'm a vault inspector. I don't know what I'm gonna be.
Now, finding your future is easy with the Generalized Occupational Aptitude Test.
Get a job at six.
See how easy it is.
Find your new career.
Following total atomic annihilation, the rebuilding of this great nation of ours may fall to you. That's why we at Vault-Tec have prepared these educational materials for you to better understand the 7 defining attributes that make you special. Today, we will focus on strength. In the wasteland, essential supplies will be scarce. When an item of value is found, keep it close and away from bullies. The stronger you are, the more you can carry. Be sure to know your limits, or you may find it challenging to escape from hazardous scenarios, no matter how strong you are. There are other situations where you may find yourself in close proximity to unfriendly neighbors. For such cases, you must learn to defend yourself using your natural strength. Use anything sharp or sturdy enough to swing. Get creative with your implement, but stay reasonable. And look for anything that can further enhance your innate vigor. The greater your strength, the greater the impact. But remember, some moments require more than muscle. Keep doing your chin-ups and push-ups because there's more strength can do for you.
Swing for the fences like the pros, crafting specialized protective gear to keep or building clever weapons to wield it. Regularly study your Vault-Tec provided materials to prepare for survival. And to answer the question, do you know what makes you special?
Hello, comrades. Okay. I will swing us around to this screen for a minute, and let's make sure all the audio things are good. I was just uploading a map for our comrades to explore here on the side. Okay, let's go to our overview, and we'll check in if we've got Mac and Sky in just a sec here. And play. Oh, Louie, you can't be squeaking, man. It's Fallout time, little buddy. It's the time each week where you got to occupy yourself. My cute little doggo who just had all the snacks he could handle. Hello, Sky, Raven, do we have you both? How are you? I'm hydrating.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
I can get this set on their side. Game map. Aha. Okay, we got our overview map up there for people. This was what was discussed right before we went on break. Welcome back, Soda. Thank you for being here. Raven, do we have you? Sound off if we got you in the chat there. But just to keep it simple for everyone, this is the northwestern corner of the Fallout 76 map that we work in. They're in the town of Hope right now. It's sort of our players' town to muck around in and do as they'd like. In their previous adventure, they made their way over to this radio tower. That's sort of been the focal conversation we've been having, or maybe I should say the background to all these conversations we've been having, that they re-enabled that. And it sounds like a whole new trip up to the mountains is in the works. If you guys are interested in setting off on that adventure, that is completely fine by me. They are... I want to give you the heads up that there are probably 2 red rocket stations that they would have flagged for you on the map. It's just a note because I think we got Sam Skies here in the call with me. That the 2 red rocket locations you got, one would be between the Raiders and the West Virginia Lumber Company, and then the other one would probably be a little ways on the other side of the Ohio Bridge. There's also... I don't know why I'm saying this like there's a chance. There's also one that Tom would maybe mark up to the northern areas here on one of those roads. And if people want to go that way, by all means you can. I just want to emphasize that the town of Hope hasn't really gone that way themselves. They're more familiar with the southern region. So I guess I just want to throw out there that if you decide to go north, which you can do, the town of Hope wouldn't have too much to recommend you in information in that way. And that would just mean any of those roads that sort of go off north and such. If anything, you guys were coming down before the... how do I gesture to this? I can ping it maybe, huh? You guys would have been coming down that sort of road before, in my opinion. Sort of what I had in mind. However, if Sam, you technically were the one walking with DK, if you think you guys maybe would have come more from this road, that's acceptable too. So this is sort of a little bit of a kind of, I don't know if retconning is the word so much as just figuring out where people wanted to be originally. Sam, do you have an opinion on that one?
I want to say that we were coming from the top, because wasn't DK leaving the pit?
Both of those roads would theoretically lead to the pit. Theoretically. So technically either, to answer that question. I suspect from what little details we have about the Fallout map in this way, I think this would be the tougher road, is my understanding. That area... Because I think this area is considered very difficult. That, in my understanding, is sort of the area that the settlers, when they're trying to get down here, that's like all bad. And this is the area you fly over in Fallout 76 in your vertibird to get to the pit. You don't go through there. Again, my loose understanding, this is like the fringes of Fallout lore, and it kind of gets into almost more like headcanon, is that area has got a lot of raider gangs, highwaymen, cultists. Like it's a lot. And maybe for that reason, a bit more abandoned. All that would mean in the lore. Sorry, the last thing I'll say, and it's all yours, is just to say I feel like that area would maybe mean that you guys had a little bit tougher of a pre-setup to your characters coming onto the scene. But ultimately, it is your lore and your history, knowing what you know now about the environment there.
I was just going to add that I would almost imagine that we would go down the safe route that most other people would take.
That makes sense.
We're scrappy, but I don't know if we were that scrappy at that point.
That's very fair. That's very fair. And again, very open-ended because I drew these roads. Hello. Again, in the official Fallout lore, hard to say exactly what's in this region, but it is sort of sensible. I think that would be the tougher road. If I were scaling this like an old MMO, for example, I would probably say that road into the browner part of the map. That's probably big higher levels. Whereas, yeah, I think the road coming down south would be a little lower mob scale. In truth, of course, the Fallout universe is a little bit different than that. Raven, that means you probably ran into them. I'm thinking you guys all probably connected somewhere around this zone, just north of Hope a ways, sort of where I'm pinging now on the map, that you all would have met up somewhere there and come down. So you would technically know maybe a bit more of that region than someone like Tom. Long way to get into that. With that being said, if you guys want to let me know where your plan, you want to hit a red rocket station, but you maybe also want to get to the radio towers. That's still the idea for today.
Yes. I am curious about that one between the Raiders and the lumber mill, because I might want to just peek out over there, depending on how far away it is.
That sounds cool. Sorry, I gotta do a memory check here. The Raiders were convinced last time to go back to Rusty Bones, and you brought 4 settlers up north back to town. That's how that went, right? I think there was about 3 Raiders left in there last time you walked through that region.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. Just so I have some external validation. Okay, again, rough numbers. Let's say it would take about 12 hours to the radio station. You can... What's the math? I'm loose math here. I think it would take about 2 hours to hit this intersection, 2 more to the Raiders. That'd be 2 to Rusty Bones, so we're at 6, 2, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so that math works for me. So 2, 4, 6... you guys are looking at maybe an 8-hour trek on this path here, just to get. And by the way, to be specific, we're going to say the Red Rocket stations in these kind of parts. They're a little bit past. Yeah, we'll say it's kind of in this area that's being pinged right now. I think everyone can see that. So that's about 8 hours on the trip. Raven, if you wanted to select one of the types of speed that was said earlier, I just want to try for my own system just to see how this travel stuff works. So you could go on normal speed here, which decreases the navigation test difficulty by 1. You get a higher complication range in a better way, meaning it works better for you. You can make this a cautious journey. It'll reduce the navigation test difficulty by 2. Can't roll any complications to it. Or you could hurry, and you would cut the journey in half, which actually seems pretty sensible to me based on you're on a fairly open road here. But you would have a higher complication difficulty. Now, your rolls are pretty great with this stuff. This is in your wheelhouse to do this. This is going to... Actually, it says by default, navigation requires an endurance plus survival test with a difficulty set in the step. Okay, so endurance and survival will be the rule ultimately. I'm just trying some rules that might introduce some things along the way. I don't know. I don't want to hold up your progress to do that, but I also want to
It's just the two of us going.
Yes, it's just the gang, the dynamic duo.
Yeah, I think you guys would probably meet up with Jim and maybe give him a download before you go, too. And maybe if you want to touch base with Tom, now that you got a little bit more planned out. Not that I want to take your time up with too much chatter. I can do that really quickly, too. But what I'd be thinking is, if you guys are okay with it, let's try mounting that cryolator to Mr. Handy Alfred there. I don't know if you guys want to do that or not, but you still have that. I looked. There is a cryolator. It's been discussed. You don't have to do it, but I feel like if Jim and Alfred are in town for a while, it might not be a bad idea to let them all work on that together.
No, I'm down. He needs something better than what he has.
He's got three... Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, I don't think we'll be able to take him out, especially as we get further ahead, if he doesn't have an upgraded weapon.
Yeah. As the guy playing him, I agree. It's why I'm begging. Begging without begging. I did want to say he's got 3 arms. Should we maybe replace one of them? Well, I mean, that's probably the most logical explanation, but that would be the pincer, the buzzsaw, or the flamethrower. I would say get rid of the pincer, but that also is what lets him grapple stuff. And so that actually seems useful. Both the buzzsaw and the flame thing, I'm probably going to need to adjust their damage as he's scaling up because they are very weak. They roll like 2 to 3 combat dice, and I don't know that they have an upgrade path. But maybe we leave that as Kyle's homework for the next week and let you guys know what we could replace. And then you can kind of just make like a group decision. He can have those things re-implemented onto him, by the way, in case you guys like hate the cryolator or something. Like the flamer could be reattached next time he returns to us, a mechanic.
That's good to know, because I was going to ask if it was like modular, kind of like the Automaton DLC.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, if you got him to the point of like higher level upgrades through whatever, either I homebrew that or it's in the book, I don't see like a reason you guys couldn't attach like an extra arm on him too. Because there are already like stripped down Mr. Handies too in the game, right? Like you've seen the ones with only like one eye and they have like one arm or something. I don't really know what creates that variation other than probably price. But I don't know, maybe you could add a 4th arm to a Mr. Handy. I don't know why not, as long as it has the sockets for it and the... I don't know, I'm speaking out loud here.
No, I'm inclined to agree.
Okay, Raven wants to go hurried speed. Okay, great. Yep, Mac, let's do it. Okay, so here's by the rules of the book. We've not done this on previous journeys, but it says base difficulty of a navigation test is 0. Are they familiar with the area? The answer to that is yes. Choose your navigator. That will be Raven. You want someone with the best survival skills. So again, that's Raven. Decide your journey speed. She said hurried. That is going to cut the duration in half and sets the complication range to 4. You prepare for the test. Navigating requires an endurance plus survival test with a difficulty set in step 1 and modified in step 3. Okay. What does... Hurry doesn't exactly have a difficulty to it, does it? I guess it doesn't decrease the difficulty. So it doesn't decrease the difficulty at all. I see. Okay, that's a weird way to say that. So I'm only going to say this is like a difficulty 1 for her by the looks of this, because you already know where you're going. Navigation test... Yeah, why don't we have you do that? So survival endurance, you're probably going to knock this out of the park. This is probably, hopefully, going to be some easy AP for you too. Oh, easy. There we go. So 1 AP back in the pool. That sets your pool to maximum. And if you guys are heading on out, there is a 17 though. Ooh. Ooh. So I now roll a D. Actually, Raven, why don't you go and roll 1D20? Separate of any of the test things. I think this is. But by the way, to anyone that watches this later and you play Fallout 2D20, I am totally like taking the rules and like ad hoc and as we go. So I'm sorry that I'm probably like skipping over something here and there. 20. Got it. Okay, great. So I am all set. If you guys want anything from the town before you do anything, you let me know. You want to talk to Jim, to Tom, but you're all set up if you guys are good with it. Actually, the way we'll play it right now is that you guys set the Mr. Handy to be upgraded with Jim. If you guys want to RP any of that, you're fine. But now I'm cool to like send you on your merry way.
No, I'd say it was a pretty quick thing that we just hop in and talk to Tom. He gave us the location of that Red Rocket station. We checked on Jim. It seems like he's doing a little bit better. So he's going to be able to work on the cryo later. And then we'll head out. If Raven doesn't need like any items or anything, maybe we could scavenge on our way. Or when we get there.
You got it. And you let me know. We'll see what Raven says. But you let me know if you want to stop along the way. Weather. It is a cooler day as you are making your way into more of the fall season. Maybe it's even one of those days that it's unusually cool. Temperatures going down, starting to drop as we're bridging from summer into the more fall months. Leaving, I'm guessing, earlier in the morning with the intention of this journey taking about 8 hours. So what time do you guys want to leave? You just pick an arbitrary slot, like 10 a.m. about? 8 a.m.? I don't know you'd be doing it more than 8 because of what you did. I think, let's say 10 to later is about the time to leave.
I agree. I'd say 10.
10? So that puts you there at about 6 p.m. is the approximate on this. So you head out, again, a little chippier of a morning than you're used to as it gets to that fall season. Making your way out of town. Things are pretty normal. You and Raven maybe sharing a couple just conversation and anecdotes about the town. It's changed a lot since you first rolled into Hope. And this is also one of the first times that you'll be going this route without Jim. It's true you went to the Ohio Bridge, which is probably the intersection you all were meeting at this moment or passing through. This would be sort of, again, the first time you've gone farther than this without Jim. Up ahead, though, you know to keep an eye out for raiders. You know to maybe, expect something at that area. You're hoping maybe you'll get to touch base with Rusty, whether it's today or later. But Raven, as you are going past the Ohio Bridge intersection area, you can see on the map, the big spaghetti intersection, if you will. I'd say it's about the time on the horizon, on both sides, your left and your right, as you're kind of looking at this southern-ish direction, you see sort of two flocks of birds, what are quite distant from each other, but they both take off into the sky, sort of in different directions. Some of them going towards the east and some to the west. But what's weird for you in seeing that is just how far apart they are on the horizon. This is when you got one of those good sort of like kind of heights to a hill and you got a nice view of the horizon around you. Maybe it's a storm incoming. Maybe it's seasonal. Maybe they're starting to flock together with this time in the year. But I think it's something that makes Raven pause if you have any feelings on seeing something like that.
Everything okay, Raven?
Birds Sam's, but they seem off, but it nearly fall.
Could be migration patterns, but it wouldn't hurt to stay frosty out here.
I'll chime in before she hits enter and say that, Raven, you'd probably sort of deduce that sort of one set of them is going towards the Ohio Bridge area, whereas the other is sort of effectively moving off in this, that route we just talked about going up towards the pit. So just this very distinctive, odd, like separation in their flocking, two different directions. See what she says here.
Yep, could be anything out here. They are flying to very different area.
Very different areas, yes.
That's strange. It's almost like they're being called to the bridge. We definitely need to keep our eyes peeled, but if you want to continue on, by all means, lead the way.
And you do, as she's filling in some notes here, she's typing. As you guys proceed onwards, just for the sake of maybe showing this here, you guys do come up to the raider encampment from before, this time completely cleared out. Unlike the figures we kind of see sitting in there from our last session, now totally empty. Sort of as they said, as you knew when you last passed through, you convinced them to go south to Rusty Dusty Bones, or maybe south to the lumber mill ultimately. But for now, this area sort of abandoned, different than when the last time you came through. Feels a little odd to just see an area where you'd passed through twice and encountered such resistance, just an empty shell of what it was. Keep on going. Keep on going. Further south. Raven's typing. Give her a chance to...
Everything seems so worried, Mr. Sam. Let keep going.
All right, if you insist, you don't want to check out maybe some of the stuff these guys left behind. They might not be needing it anymore.
If you guys would like to, you could roll for that.
Sure.
Yeah, they're going to go get some good work. They won't be needing any of this stuff anymore. It's ill-gotten gains for them anyway.
I think this is going to be... Pardon me. Kyle did not have a calculator for this in front of him. Scavenging helper. Here we go. This is a small area.
Maybe they're gen parts here.
As a warning, because this is heavily searched, difficulty of 3 is a possibility. Oh, sorry, difficulty of 3. That's what you're aiming for. This is a perception plus survival. Sam can help as long as Raven scores 1 on this. And I believe this takes you guys about a half an hour of looting here. So she got 1. I think that means you'll be too low to achieve a success on this one. Unless you re-roll with luck, Raven. The 15. The odd thing is, if she re-rolls the 15, that's almost, I feel like it's a guarantee she's going to get all 3. Tis your choice.
You should have full luck if you want to use it.
What Sky said, you should have full luck. I'll put it this way.
I will re-roll with luck.
It's a pretty fair exchange. It's pretty like what you'll get here. So,
oh no, it was worse.
Nothing. Completely picked through. You guys look through it. It is desolate. They took everything that was, everything including the kitchen sink, so to speak. They, having looted this place so recently too, nothing extra to gather out of here.
They even took what was nailed down.
Effectively, these vehicles are really scavenged, by the way. They are just hunks of metal. There's no electrical parts, no nothing you can use to make a generator out of this. So I would suggest onwards to your next location, which I think puts us close to the intersection, unless I don't mean to force you guys out of here. I'm just moving it so that I'm not slow poking everybody, but that you'd probably be coming up to the intersection to Rusty's. I'm just throwing out the opportunity in case people want to change plans and go his way. That is an opportunity. But this is sort of kind of the end of that, and you'll be coming up upon your next location here in the next couple minutes. Speak now if anyone has ideas or ambitions. Otherwise, I'm just checking your one.
I'm good to keep on trekking on. I don't really have any money to spend anyway.
Same.
Aye. Okay.
On the road again.
As you're going, Raven, you, after some amount of time, notice a similar scene that you caught earlier with the birds taking flight. This time, notably, you only see a group of birds on your right-hand side, which is the western side of your vision here, as another group of birds takes off and goes. And again, what's notable about this is that you're not close enough to be doing this yourself. You're not up there where they are. They're not reacting, probably not reacting to you directly. But this, you see kind of another large flock of birds just take to the sky and go. And this one would be flying sort of across the river, looking at where we are on the map here. You could say that they're going towards the West Virginia lumber mill, but probably actually heading out towards the river direction there. Other than that, pretty easy going through this spot. You may want to say something to Sam before I keep talking, just in case you wanted to convey anything to him, but just an odd sight. Just something unfamiliar. And as you keep on walking through, let me make sure my
More odd brids, Sam's.
Yeah, it looks like something went over the lumber mill. I definitely want to check that out.
Let me see what direction I want to put you guys on this map. Yeah, as you guys are going, I think maybe this gas station would be just a little bit lower on the map, more horizontal to where the West Virginia lumber mill is, but a little bit of a distance. I'm going to say that where this comes in, it is more like the road intersection you see on that map, and you'll catch my quick changing of that in just a second. Sorry, hopefully people's maps will start filling in just a moment. I maybe need to reset some things here so it syncs it. But I'm just erasing some fog of war for people. Okay, let me now try and make sure it resyncs it to the screen. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay, there is a stretch of map. It is appearing. I'm going to put people's tokens on them here. There is Sam, and there is Raven. And let's get to erasing some more of this. So as you're coming down this busy, well, what was busy roadway, you come upon a bit of a scene here. A Red Rocket gas station at an intersection. This intersection, and what you could gather from the Appalachia map, would be the road we have coming down. And I can flash that back up on the screen here in a minute if people really want to see it. But this would be sort of where you could go to to the west, and you'd hit the West Virginia lumber mill. And if you go to the east, you're off on another road that's going to take you back down into more central Appalachia. But what you see when you get here is almost a military checkpoint that's occupying part of the roadway. You could get closer to any of these things and, discern it for yourself. It's a very open area right here, so you guys can see quite a bit. But I'll just leave you with about this scene. I want to check with all of you. Yeah, if you need to refresh... Oh, where'd it go? My map left me. Okay. If you need to refresh to see anything, by all means, please do. Hopefully you can see what I can see, though, on the Twitch stream, which is a trailer. You got a Red Rocket gas trailer over there. You've got, again, that military sort of checkpoint with an armored personnel carrier. You've got a Jeep and some other supplies. And the world is your oyster from where you'd like to go from here.
Watch out, Raven. Looks like there's some mines set up by those barricades.
Oops, I didn't mean to ping. Sorry.
Is that turret active?
Whoops. Well, it's not shooting you.
Okay, good.
Mac Raven says that my map didn't load. Maybe you need to exit alchemy. I don't think there's anything I can do to help with that, Raven, for your local side. I got the one on the stream pulled up, though. If you need me to move your character, I can do that, too. I think she's getting situated, maybe. As you pull up to this scene, you do think you hear something from within or around the outside of the gas station. There's a sort of a soft clanging sound. You probably are familiar with this, hearing people scavenge. Raven says, no luck. I guess you're going to have to go to Twitch stream tonight, if that works for you. You can watch off of that window. So you pull up here, and again, like I said, you hear some clanging and banging. No one obviously in sight, although you can make your perception and survival tests if you want to get a better detection on who's there or what's there. And also, if you want to stealth or anything like that, you can absolutely do that too. Depends on how you want to come upon the station, whether you want to do it loud and proud or sneaky and safe.
I'll throw a sneak out there while she's getting back in here.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, drop me your sneak and agility, I think it is. Okay, cool beans. Success of 1. And Raven, whenever you can do that, if you're interested, you could roll us your sneak and agility test. And then Sam, on top of that, now that you are playing it casual and cool like that, why don't you roll your perception and survival just to see what you gather from this? Good, Raven, got you too. Got it. Sam can't see too much from his vantage point. Raven, what do you got? If you want to roll a survival and perception, just to kind of gauge how you are doing here. Good, Raven, good. Sorry your thing's not behaving tonight. I don't know what that's about. Maybe you just need to scroll around on your thing. Like maybe your screen's off to the side.
That tends to happen to me.
Whoa, 4 successes. That's crazy. I don't know that your pool... Well, I guess that one was loose, open-ended, so it probably didn't have any AP to put back. I do want to warn you, both are maxed out on your AP pools, so don't be shy about utilizing those. Raven, as you get up there, where Sam does not have the position to see it, you notice a couple clearly visible raiders who are making their way around the building here. Whether friend or foe, still a bit hard to see from this distance. Raiders are very difficult. You don't see a lot of signage, though. I will point out that the area doesn't have a lot of raider paraphernalia. There's no cages with bodies in it or anything like that. But as you're getting up to it, again, you do see one guy who is going inside the Red Rocket station. He seems to be bringing some tools in with him. And shortly after, another one does the same thing. So at least you witness 2 raiders going inside.
Sam, their raiders can't tell if they're nice kind or not.
Check and see. You can't check and see if there's any free radical regalia on them. They got anything that makes them look like those guys that we've talked to before?
To answer that maybe question for you.
About 2 of them, nothing I can tell form here.
Yeah. Exactly that. Pop one of them down here on the map. It's about this time that you guys are chatting with each other that one of them does appear outside of the facility as well. Sorry if these icons don't match the exact scale of the map, but one raider scavenger comes outside here. Somebody picking around, sort of kicking trash as he stands outside, and he looks a little dejected, to sort of be on watch out here, maybe something to that effect, you gather. I'm gonna make a roll for him in general. This isn't about you two necessarily. You guys can decide your plan though as I do this.
Raven, if it doesn't look like a free radical, then I'd say that's open season.
As you two are talking still, he tries to climb aboard.
Okay, I like it.
He tries to climb up on this this gas pump and does not succeed in his efforts. He he sort of sloppily slides off the side of it. He kind of tried to do some parkour and didn't exactly make it. A little embarrassing of a sight, but thank goodness no one's watching him to see of that failure, huh? The idea is to sneak on them, huh? Is that what I heard in the background?
Yeah, I mean, they could do a sneak attack. If they aren't free radicals, then I'd say it's...
Well, Sam, that seemed a little dim.
Raven, there's one thing I would re-emphasize for you is just to be very clear above board, you have not seen any signage for them one way or another. Whether they're free radicals or not is indeterminate to you. I just want to make that clear because you can kill whoever these people are, and they may or may not be free radicals, but they might be free radicals. There's just no, I just want to make it very clear there's no signage for them. So you're welcome to kill them.
Also, Sam, I don't see any bodies in cages.
Yeah.
Or are the radio bad stuff?
Kill him.
I have an idea. So, I would like to try to do some sort of like gravelly voice, you know, just try to do my best Raider impression and yell at this old chuckle guy over here and try to get him to come around this way. Just kind of yell out like, "Hey, dingus, I saw that. Come, you get over here."
I like this idea. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and throw a speech in charisma? Yeah, why don't we do difficulty 2? I don't know if it can be any lower than that. What you're trying to do. Let's throw that. And if I think you get your bonus, so you can utilize that in this case, a reroll type of deal.
I will pay for an extra.
Okay, go for it. Sure, 1 AP for an extra die. Nice, cleared it. You yell over to him, and he looks pretty spooked, and he kind of glances back at the door for where he just had come from within the Red Rocket station, and he looks very confused, thinking maybe for someone I didn't account for. And he goes, "And you want him to come over this way?" Is what you said?
Yes, over here. I'll have my shotgun ready and pointed at his head as soon as he rounds the corner, and I tell him, "Don't move, don't say anything."
Who are you? What the hell? You're not.
Let me ask
You're not
you.
the boss.
I'm the one asking questions here, buddy. Who are you?
I'm the one looting this place. Can't you see?
I can see that, but what group are you with? You with anyone in particular?
Down the road, raider compound. Call ourselves free radicals. What are you doing here? This isn't your place. This is ours.
Look, we've met some of you guys before. We have no quarrel with the free radicals. We're just here scrounging around looking for some just some scrap for our town.
Oh, you're one of those ones. You're one of the ones the guys were talking about. Huh. Coming down this way, okay. What do you want? We're after some certain supplies here ourselves. But if you're not hard to work with, maybe we could make a deal that would help both of us.
All we're looking for is some stuff to make a generator part. We're looking for some different scrap materials, some common scraps, some uncommon scraps.
Generator.
Nothing too fancy.
You might be in luck. This place was mined to high heaven before even we got here. We've taken quite a few of them out before you arrived. Before we got to looting, be careful. There's still mines over there. Or don't. That's your prerogative. Generator parts. Maybe you could meet the boss. Maybe... I'm not the one to be talking about this. Go. If you let me go, I'll go back in and I'll say some good words for you. We'll see what the boss has to say about splitting this place up with you.
All right. But just know that this is a giant tank of gasoline. And if you try to cross us, I'm not afraid to blow this entire place to high heaven, us included.
You don't know what you're in for. And he just rounds the corner and he goes inside. So, okay, to recap, you came up upon this place.
Booms.
And yes, he just told you it used to be mined. I will expand a little bit more of the map outside here, just so people can, I don't know if Raven wants to go and maybe do some little, you could say that she's the one that sees a little bit more of this. She maybe get some vantage, but it's sort of a lot that goes around here. It sort of circles around, and there's other gas pumps on the other side here. And as he sort of alluded to, the area was mined, but they've taken a couple of them out. That there was sort of a little bit of a barricade going on around here at one point. Whether the military installed it or some of it came later, clearly military stuff across the street, which probably has some really good stuff for you, considering you're looking for motor style components, generator stuff. He goes inside for probably less than 5 minutes before he and one other comes out. Oops, let me show his marker. There's another Raider scavenger that comes outside, and the two of them this time make their way back over to you, Sam. And he says, look, the boss is good to meet with you. He sent us out Said he wants you to go in, meet him on the inside. He's got a little bit of a pet project maybe you can help him with. If you can help with this, he'll split the loot with you. If you can't help with this, you probably have to worry about other things splitting. So, what do you say? You up for some trouble?
We'll check it out.
Is Raven visible?
What do you think, Sam?
Is she standing there with Sam, by the way? Or is she, like, further back, tucked away, just for clarity's sake?
I'm willing to retcon it that Raven's hiding. If that's her move.
I
don't know
was
what's
sort of
going on.
presuming she might be, just considering that she was not, like, right up next to you. Oh, okay. She wants to be hiding there. There she is. So, Sam, we'll say very clearly they only saw you. If you are going on in, you're welcome to do so.
All right.
Think, and you going up that way gives me all the reason to clear out the rest of the fog of war up here. Oh, yeah, I can just reveal all. Now, as a reminder, Raven, we're gonna go to the second phase of this map that you are outside and don't have visuals on this, but let's hope this works. Okay, ta-da! Okay, it's updated on the stream side. There is an interior to the building now. And on the inside, Sam, if you are going on in, you see there is a raider scavenger who is picking through some supplies over here, and a raider boss who's sort of kicked back and relaxing on one of these chairs here that I'm pinging on the screen. So whenever you get in there, you're greeted with a very gruff, "Oh, you're one of those from Hope, huh? Coming on down
You
this
the
way."
boss?
Of this expedition. You here to help me with a little bit of a predicament?
Yeah, Sam Houston, pleasure to meet you. What's your predicament?
You wanted some supplies out of this place. I need someone with a delicate touch. You see, there's some supplies in a safe back behind the counter there. I want into them. However, my team discovered that there is a little bit of a booby trap keeping us from getting in. None of these guys are quite the type, not the nimble fingers to be doing anything so dangerous, especially, you see, we're surrounded by plenty of fuel that could blow us to high heaven. What do you say? You got what it takes to risk it all? Or would you rather we escort you out and let us get back to our business?
I can look at it. Let me take a look at it.
So as you maybe pass, if you choose to do so, around that scavenger there, he's going through shelves of supplies. He's paying attention to you, but he's not feeling like you're any kind of threat. Those other two guys took up position at the door on the interior, and the raider boss continues to kick back on his chair, very unbothered by it. And I don't know if people can see. I don't know that I'll be able to like show it on screen, but the raider boss has some really cool art to him. He's I guess in this one this one looks like he's in a little bit of power armor per se from the picture, but not in reality. He's not in power armor right here. But he is in rather tough kit. As you go behind the bar there, Sam, or the countertop, you do see that the man at the counter, you gather he probably was not. Well, actually, I'll leave that to be determined later, where you think this man might be from, whether he's pre-war or post-war. A little bit of investigation can maybe shine some light on it. But it's clear that they rigged up some explosives back here that if supplies are moved. There's a floor safe, we'll say, that's like sort of underneath this box and those canisters. And that whenever they're moved, it's sort of a trigger plate style situation, that it could set off one hell of a kaboom, considering there's gas around here. There's a massive gas trailer outside, as you mentioned. That's what's giving these guys pause. Not that it's maybe a trap they've never seen before, per se, but just that they recognize this is a little bit of a suicide mission, and they're hoping that the payoff would be good. Now that you're here, maybe their odds are better, or not. Does Sam want to take a shot at popping this lock, at unlocking this trap?
Is it a lockpick test?
Yes, it is. It will use lockpick and perception.
That's what gets me, is the perception. It's going to be probably impossible if I do perception. I was going to ask if I could make a case with it being perhaps a technology-based thing, if I could try intelligence.
Sure, I would do that. Yeah, because of how this is set up, absolutely. Lockpick and intelligence works for me. Yes, Mac, you should definitely light up next to the trailer. Tanker.
My heart is racing. I'm going to pay...
Yeah, you want to know the difficulty of it, huh? It's gonna be a difficulty. Well, it's gonna be difficulty 2 on this one.
Okay. With the AP that we have, I could buy 2 die.
Correct. And if you really wanted to, you could buy the other one from me at a point exchange. Like I'd get 1 extra point. If you really want to roll them all.
I mean, this feels like that type of situation. I mean, I feel like I'm not like over freaking out about this.
No, I feel like that's probably fair. Maybe. I feel like it's also possible. I mean, if you want to, you could maybe schmooze one of these dudes into helping you with that test. That at least the one that's scavenging behind the bar there seems a little bit, maybe he'd kind of gesture over and show you what you're looking at specifically there. So maybe this guy could help. But I do want to throw out that Raven is outside if you want more assistance from her, though you have to sort of talk your way into that and explain that you got someone else out there, etc., etc. So there are more options. Also, I just want to make it clear, you could technically decline any of this. None of this is on railroads, except for the fact that these guys are telling you what they want. But you're allowed to do anything. Again, you could just kill them all right now.
Yeah, I turn over and I say, "Hey, Goggles, can I get some help?"
Goggles
to the raider next to me. Yeah, it looks like he's wearing night vision goggles.
Fine,
right?
Yeah. What do you need? I didn't want to touch this earlier. This thing seems like a death trap. I don't even know it's worth it. What are we gonna get out of here that's good? Oh,
who knows?
I also want to make it very clear. I forgot. I did. I for a second I was sad. I thought that I didn't include the bomb mechanism. But if you zoom in very closely to the Vault Boy, that bobblehead that's on the countertop, I know it's probably a little hard to see, but there is a stick of dynamite with a countdown thing on it. So that's technically, we can say that it's maybe the safe's built into the countertop there. I said it was in the floor, pardon me. We'll say that it's like underneath of that bobblehead sort of thing sitting on the countertop. And as you get close to that, and he kind of points it. I think probably the first thing Sam noticed were the canisters on the floor, right? And that's when Goggles comes over and he's like, well, actually, that's the real kicker underneath of that bobblehead there. And you now, crane your head looking over there, and you see there's that little indicator. It's not even a countdown indicator. It's almost like a very low res sort of stability thing, almost like what's the word? Like a level on your phone, but it's on those sort of screen, whatever those block printout screens. I forget, analog-y sort of digital tech. Anyway, that's what you gather from that. And like I said, difficulty 2, not an unreasonable trap, but it's just how much explosives that are it's in connection with.
All right. I take a deep breath. I think back to, the short couple weeks of bomb disposal training that we did in basic. And I reach out with the snippers and I pluck the blue wire. Oh, good God.
Holy crap.
I'll pay luck to reroll.
My gosh, that roll, man. Yeah, why don't you decide what you want to do? He can also help you. You got a success on that. So he actually got a 2 on his die roll. So he'll pass. He's going to give you 1 success. You need a 2. So you got complications. Okay. I just want to call that out. That's what we're mathing out right now, I think, and I'll let you talk because you were going to say something.
I was just going to ask if I could re-roll at the very least the 20, perhaps the 19s.
So this was a difficulty 2. Yeah, this was considered a risky test. That is 3 complications on this test, unfortunately. The 20 and 2 19s. That's an interesting thing to get a complication on, too. No, I don't think you're dead, Raven. I mean, this enters the negotiation thing. I don't think you're dead. You two technically passed. But how many of these complications do you want to roll? There is to be some sort of penalty, technically. But I don't think the penalty is exploding. I think you've cleared that hurdle. But I'll ask Sam how many he'd like to re-roll from that.
I can spend 3 luck and re-roll 3.
You could do that if you wish.
I mean, if I can wipe off them.
Yeah. Before you do that, or as you're doing that, I will just say again, these are not going to kill you, these complications, but they will adversely affect your journey. So you decide completely what you want to do. You can spend all that luck if you'd like 1 per reroll.
Yeah, I mean, we still have plenty, and we're going to go back to town and sleep up, so maybe we'll get some more back. I'm going to do it.
Go for it. Oh, nice. Nice. So you get I guess that's 2. So you get 3 AP back is what it looks like to me. That's the math I understand.
Yeah, because it's tagged.
Oh, it's tagged? So...
Yes.
So that's actually 4 back to your pool then? I think those are 2 crits then. So they count for 2 Ps. Because you're lockpick, if you're tagged in lockpicking, that is to say.
That works.
Perfect. 4 AP back in your pool. Wonderful. I think there's a moment when you cut that and you see the little indicator, which is just a standard like red clock face timer, like you still have on ovens and old alarm clocks and all that. And again, what was only showing is these sort of balancing indicators, these flat lines that would kind of be the cross section of an 8, if you will. They sort of look to spin, like for a second you see it look like it tries to animate like as if it had just fallen. You think this thing is like about to blow, and then simply the screen goes off. It is dead. It is neutralized. The guy next to you's like, we're still alive. I'm still alive.
I exhale the biggest just sigh that I've ever exhaled in the last probably couple years, and just my entire body melts away with relief.
The raider boss jumps basically out of his chair, runs over to the counter, big, tall, burly kind of guy, slams his forearms down on the counter and says, "You did it! You did it! Oh, pop that baby open. Let's see what we got in that safe," he tells to his man there. "Oh, man, Sam, was it? That's what they're calling you. Sam Houston. I don't remember you. This is a good haul, I'm sure."
Yeah, let's take a peek at what's inside. Well, I'm curious.
So we can do a couple different scavenging things for this location. Notably, in the safe that they were interested in getting into, pops it open, and it is full of chems, tons of chems. Jet, all kinds of... Wait, I forget when Jet was made. I'm sorry. Timeline, Fallout, etc. But it's got all the... He's got a lot, a smattering. That's what this guy wants. He grabs a couple out of there. Boss, look, we got the haul. And he takes that cardboard box that's next to it and just starts scooping them out of there. Oh, hell yeah, we're gonna be rich off of this one. This was a good one. He grabs one of those cartons of cigarettes, pulls it over. The boss, that is, kind of starts looking through some of the stuff over on the countertop. Starts, pulls back that the cash register there. Starts trying, pulling it apart, rummaging through it. Kind of an area that they were scared to touch before. Sam, you notice there is a holotape there on the countertop if you're interested. And you also notice there is a ground safe, the floor safe as well, under those canisters. I'll put it this way. You notice that, but they don't seem too interested in it. So that just sits under the canister. Should you wish to make a scene about it? Should you wish to wait to another time? Or, you could directly open it and access it now. But you are, I want to point out, looting, in tandem with some raiders here. So just be mindful that, they might want things that you're looking at, or vice versa, feel entitled to it.
I'm gonna just kind of kick the canister over the little portion of the safe that I saw, so now it's hiding.
Smart.
Just nudged out of the way.
Smart. By the way, Raven, are you staying outside? She might be waiting for your signal or something, Sam. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'll grab that holotape and go to the boss and say, look, I got a comrade out further back there. Do you mind if she comes in here and we get what we need and head out of here?
I don't have any care about it in the world. Maybe, and he gestures over to the table, a pole there. He says, maybe one of these days, you and I could kick back and enjoy some of the life that's still left in this wasteland. Wouldn't be a bad thing to make some friends, especially with skills like yours.
Most definitely. You seem
Hello,
like an old
boys.
soul.
How it hanging?
Oh, did you roll up
Welcome.
on them, Raven?
This is Raven.
On my map, she's still outside, so maybe she, Oh, see, come up on, kind of push past these two guys at the door. They're a little too enamored in what's going on anyway, too excited seeing, maybe one of them, in fact, has kind of run over to the bar, and those two are busy scooping out, chems and such from under the counter. So, Raven, you come on in. The boss looks at you. A cultist. You're one of those Mothman cultists.
She's left a lot of that behind. They made some changes.
Yeah, I guess we can all change. However, there's been some attacks down in these parts. You're kind of starting to bite off more than they can chew. Free radicals aren't about to let them have it either. I had
heard some of your comrades had fallen to them.
Yeah, some of our better comrades too, and some serious tactical kit. But, well, not to tell you too much, but you kind of have it coming. We got a plan, and we're not slowing down. In fact, this place was just a good stepping stone in the right direction. We're not just here for the chems that are back there, though that's a nice find. We're actually here for that fuel trailer. That is something we're taking back with us.
Let me ask you something. You seem like an old soul. Were you here before the bombs?
You know it. These parts are my old stomping ground. Some of these newbies, though, these guys are a little younger, born post the bombs fallen. But there's always a good spot. I was one of the original free, well, they're calling us free radicals, but I was one of the men from the penitentiary. We formed up after the bombs fell and things went belly up. It was just us and robotic wardens and prison guards. We made pretty easy work of them. Knew a lot of the protectron flaws from pre-war, and they weren't hard to get around. I think you've already met some of us, but we are holding up down at the West Virginia lumber mill. You know what? In fact, and Sam, he leans in as you guys are kind of close, and he whispers, a keyword in your ear that I have sent to you via DM on Discord. And effectively, he's given you a passcode. He says, if you need anything while you're down in these parts, like I said, we're always in need of helping hands. If you make your way over to the lumber mill, well, might be a hot meal waiting for you. And as this is going on, you all hear a very loud sound outside as out the window you see a very heavily armored truck cab sort of smash through the area out here where the gas pumps are. You just kind of sort of see this looking, out the window. Raven, I don't know, you'd probably see and hear this over your shoulder, but this big, heavily armored, and Raven, you could think of this like one of the cabs in GTA, Grand Theft Auto, with the plow on the front of it. Very heavily armored in sheet metal and all kinds of radar things. There's sort of some spikes sticking off of it in various directions, some barbed wire on the outside of it, and you hear it like crash over these pumps as it proceeds to kind of pull in and start to make a pretty nice lineup with the trailer that's parked out there. They're effectively, while you guys are in here, you got to tell that there's another part of this operation that they outside are hitching up that trailer and getting it ready to go.
Wow, what the goats is that, Sam?
Quite the operation you guys have.
This is only the tip of the iceberg, buddy. The free radicals are here to stay. We're not giving up. And with this fuel under our belts, we're going to be sitting pretty warm this winter. You might be wanting to think about that yourself. It's getting colder out.
Oh, most definitely. Let me ask you something, though. It seems like you've lived a pretty hard life even before the bombs dropped. Don't you ever get tired of it all? Don't you ever get tired of getting shot at defusing bombs?
The trick about not getting shot at is to crack them open before they fire the shot. That's tip number one. Second part to that, defusing bombs ain't my specialty. I'm just here on acquisitions today. That's something I'm good at. That's something I was good at before the war. And, well, I'll just say what we're building is not all guns and violence all the time. I mean, there's a lot of guns and there's a lot of violence. But Appalachia's not a bad fit. You can grow food here, which is more than most of the wasteland. You can find some peace and solitude still up in these parts, at least for the time being. But again, and he kind of looks glaringly a bit at Raven, her kind aren't making it too easy these days. What was slowing down starting to speed up. It's like there's always a power vacuum in these parts. Something's always seeking your attention. Something new.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because we've got our settlement down there, Hope. And, if I understand that you guys got a lot going on, and if you ever want to turn those guns and maybe help out some of the people down there, we can turn it against the people who are trying to mess up, our ways of life. These other raider gangs around here. I'm sure that'd be a blast.
Blood Eagles still pose a threat in these parts. I don't know if you've met up with any of them, but we'll see if they're still around after what's coming in the near future. It's just, they're kind of low-hanging fruit at this stage. They're not built up like us, that's for sure, and they're not gonna, well, we'll see if they turn into the gourmands this winter. They might be eating each other for all I know.
Well, hopefully we can keep an open line that's equally beneficial to the both of us, and our towns included.
You know where to find us.
I've got no ill will against the free radicals. All of you seem to be very level-headed comparatively to especially those Blood Eagles.
Yeah, we take in those that can fend for themselves. Those that aren't rolling the way the Blood Eagles are. But again, you know where to find me, and you can have whatever we left behind in the loot here. I'm sure there's still some good stuff for you. You wanted generator parts, I can tell you there's some machines over there, and he points over into the corner. There's all kinds of machinery back here that you guys could scavenge some parts from. Outside, there's the husks of a couple vehicles, some in better shape than not. And across the street, there is the kind of military area if you want to poke around in any of those parts. It should also be noted that on the rooftop, there's a bunch of mechanical parts as well, which would just require getting up there.
Well, it's been mighty appreciated, everything that you've done for us here today. Do you have a name? If not, boss works for me.
You just call me the boss for now. If we meet up again, we'll get to know each other a little bit better, Sam Houston. But for now, my ride's calling. We're going back with what we got. And you kind of see the guy behind the countertop sort of pats the box on the side there. He's got that full, just loaded to the brim with chems. He even grabs that stick of dynamite that's under there and tosses that in the box too. They're not leaving some explosives behind. There's some good scavengers. Me and my boys are out of here. You go. You be safe. Watch out for landmines. We cleared a lot, but not all. So don't die.
Much obliged, boss. You stay safe as well. Hopefully our paths will cross again.
Soon enough. And with that, they go out front, and their truck is sort of waiting for them as they blow the horn. And some of these guys grab onto the side of it. The boss hops in the passenger seat there. And the rest of the guys sort of just cram onto the side. Some of them, one gets on the back, up on the top of the trailer, kind of doing lookout on it as they begin to drive it off and on its way down the street. Let me readjust that map for people at home. So again, they hitched up their trailer over here. They have a working trailer cab, so that's something that they are into, and they drive that off to the westmost part of the map. Fairly well leaving you here.
Sam, can we build one of those? Me want to drive it. That is so cool.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to have something like that at Hope. I'm certainly glad we got through that, though. Those guys weren't half bad.
I would say you guys, we've got about 30 or so minutes left of the game, give or take here with whatever we want to get done tonight. We should probably do some looting of this place. Knowing what you're after, we'll say this is going to take you guys probably, I think it's going to be like a half an hour to loot the actual regular loot. If you want to go outside and loot even more, we'll put another half an hour on it, and we'll say to get generator parts and all that together, about an hour to scavenge all that. So maybe about 2 hours involved in this place if that's what you all want to do next.
Oh, I'm good to go. I'm ready to do that.
Sure.
For role-playing purposes, I'm gonna grab these cartons of gray tortoises and stuff them in my pack.
Go for it. Yeah, that works out well scale-wise here. So, perception survival test difficulty 2 to kind of gauge out what sort of supplies you might be looking at here. Raven, if you want to lead that and Sam wants to follow you with it, that works for me. Ooh, 4 successes. That puts your 2 AP back in the pool. I don't even know if I told you what the difficulty was, but 2 AP back in the pool there, Raven. And here's what you can roll on. Let's throw that into the chat here. Whoop. Great roll, Raven. Great roll. So at minimum, there's 1 armor, 1 clothing, 3 beverages, and 4 junk. You can spend AP, as you see, anywhere on that second column, AP max. So if you guys want to let me know if you want to distribute more of your points, you're at 6 out of 6. So you literally should burn at least 1 point so you can gain more in the future. Or spend big now. You could spend, 2 points on armor if you want. You could do, some clothing, some beverage. Actually, even this place doesn't have ammo. I would swap clothing for ammo, to be more specific with you all. I'm sorry. This I might want to roll a different place, but we could swap some of that. You know what? I'll be very open-minded. This one's sort of set up as a little bit of a... You kind of see, I set the interior up to be a little bit of a recreation one that you could, stop off here and there's things to entertain the kids or whatever. People are getting fuel changed or whatever outside, oil changed outside, anything like that, service to the vehicle. And so... if you guys want, we could have clothing there because it's sort of like a roadside attraction stop, sort of, all that merch and junk you find, but also ammo because there's ammo sitting on the countertops here too. So let me know how you'd like to spend any of those points.
Since we're here for junk, I'd at the very least like to spend 2 to bump it up to the max of 6.
Got you. 2. Beverages, clothing, armor. Or we can substitute in ammo.
Okay, sounds good.
Raven, what do you want to spend any AP on? Maybe it's fair to say they scavenge the ammo out of here, to be honest. Maybe that's why.
Just junk.
Just junk? No other AP? Oh, you guys. Okay, fine.
I'll spend 1 for ammo, if that's what we want. If that's cool. Can we still do the clothing and just spend 1 for ammo?
Yeah, we can try and do ammo here in a second. Let's see. Oh, what is this? Salvage junk. I'm trying to find. Okay. Is this right? Okay, cool. Your scavenging list here, and I need to get the ammo because I don't have this one on here. Is this? Wait, how? Oh, I think, okay, sorry. There's a metric on here I'm not super familiar with about the junk pieces. Quality of junk found. Players can use luck to find more junk. 1 luck equals 1 junk is what it says. Quality of junk found 16. Amount? No one has scrapper, so salvage items. The character spends 2 hours and 40 minutes salvaging 16 items of junk, which gathered you 12 common materials. This was the chart. This is what I got as an automation. Let me just see. I don't even know how this works yet. Salvage items. Does it give us uncommon bits or no? I don't think it ever wants to roll for uncommon bits. Let me see. Is it because of you need a... Oh. Maybe the scrapper perk is what gives you more uncommon. Sorry, this is our first time actually breaking down junk before. I think there would be uncommon stuff here, but Scrapper says when you scrap an item, you can salvage uncommon component materials as well as common ones. Aha! So as a heads up, someone might want to take a Scrapper perk in the future if you're looking to be getting into building. Because it looks like that is what will... Yeah. I think given where you are... reasonably, I think you would be able to get enough stuff out of here to get that windmill running for sure. For sure, for sure. Looking at the materials that are laying around and on the table, hopefully that makes sense, the chart and details I sent through. Just to read it out loud for chat, they found one piece of sturdy raider armor. It's a torso piece. They found a bit of tough clothing there, 2 Nuka cherries, and a blood pack, as well as you got junk. Honestly, off the top of my head, forget. I'll have to look at a different sheet here to figure out how much you needed for that. But does anyone have that off the top of their...
I believe that we needed 4 common and 5 uncommon to finish the windmill.
Oh, easy. What was the number I put there in chat again? 12 uncommon. Yeah, we'll just say it splits that way. Regardless of the perk, that was sort of the purpose of going to some place like this, that you have the high quality loot here, if you will. That there's just, there's enough rare parts here. You get motors and things. I think maybe more than looking for generators, correct me if you want to go a different way, but you guys just needed bits that would electrically attach for the windmill to be working more than anything else, based on last episode's sort of deviation, if that works for you. Meaning, I think that sheet of paper said you were building generators, but you guys decided to do a windmill instead.
Okay. So will that complete that quest?
I think they specifically wanted you to get generators, but I don't think you guys can do that, is a little bit of the problem. Let's see. Sort of the trick to it is you guys decided to do something that wasn't what they requested, which I'm fine with, but I don't know that they just said, we need power, scout and recover 3 generators, which... you guys just went a different way with it, so I don't know that matters exactly. Help build... 12, yeah, it was the 12 uncommon parts, 6 common materials, but that number went down. I think it would count as a completion of that quest. Yeah. You guys just were needing to get the power up. I did not do the extra work, though, to see that would necessarily be enough. It looks like it would. It's +3 for power, so I think that would be fine. What do you guys think?
If that's cool with you, it's cool with me. I'm down to still focus on surplusing their power anyway. So, I'm fine with continuing, even if we need to look for 3 generators, I'm fine with looking for generators as well. I just am not unsure where they might be.
Yeah, I again, it's just because you guys went a little bit different of a way of it, is all that I can think of. Just meaning, and I'm okay. I don't know that the quest giver will consider that necessarily a completion of the quest, if that makes sense. Kyle's okay with it. I don't know if quest giver will be. I don't think they're going to be mad at you or, anything like that. I don't know if it really counts. I don't know. I guess it's a conversation with Lena and them to have on the flip side, sort of. And if you guys want to keep looking around for generators and things, you could pick up here next week and very well do that. Or see if you go up to the radio tower, see if Modus wants to part with anything with his fabricator sort of ability he offered last time. But as for, so the problem, that, and I think this fits lore-wise, because it's just balanced in my head. Neither of you are set up in scrapping, right? Or does Raven have scrapper by chance? The sort of weird problem is it comes in that you guys can't scrap those materials. You just don't have the ability. Neither of you have the skill, let's say, to be gathering those higher level parts. You're getting them from here, enough to finish the windmill, that's for sure. So no problem in completing the windmill addition, which will get your town back to the correct power level. Does that accomplish the task of finding generators? Probably substantial, like it's a consolation prize for them or something.
Do we have any extra left that we got? Any just common material?
Ooh. What was the numbers? There are 16 things of junk, 12. There's probably four things of common material in that batch left over, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
My math, though, is totally in the dark on this one. I'm just ad hocing it.
No, I do not, but could we send a team to scarve the station if we build a station?
Ooh, yeah, I think so. I think so.
That is what I was further asking for, because I did want to see if, I don't know how much we have left just amongst ourselves and how much we spent when we built everything, but we might have enough. I think we had a little, quite a bit extra. So I think we should have enough to do that with this extra 4.
Yeah, let's see here, too. Scavenging station. Scavenging for supplies, a way of life for most of those in the wasteland, but scavenging station can make this much more efficient by gathering tools useful in salvaging raw materials from junk found in the ruins. For each scavenging station, the settlement roll up to 3. You may roll 3d6s when scavenging. You may re-roll 1 time for 1 or more people in the settlement. Takes the scavenging action. Okay, so you need to set scavengers once that place is built. We'll see how that works later. If that's what people want to do. But I don't know, by the way, that's probably going to add more to the energy drain of the place, but I'm not sure how that works right this second. Do that on the sheet here. Not that I think that bars you from doing any of that, but it is a weird balancing act that keeping certain things powered at the place. Yeah, short on 2 power at the time is what I see. Scavenging station's not on the list yet. Okay. Where is it on the list? Aha. I don't think it draws any power by the looks of it then. Or maybe it just needs a person in it to draw power. I don't know. That's something post-stream I can get you the answers for. You guys are welcome to go to other things and explore around here if you want.
Yeah, I'm transcribing some of the loot that we got.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Raven, is there anything in particular that you would like from that list?
Gunshots in the background. Someone's out there taming the wasteland.
Yeah, hopefully those guys didn't run into any trouble.
Let's hope not. Them and their big convoy.
Not really.
Not really.
I'll hold on to it. Perhaps we can sell some of the stuff when we get back.
There is also some other, I guess, the game technically calls these like nested areas. So if you guys want to brave it into the military area over there, that's sort of an untouched military spot. There could be more goodies in there. Yeah, again, I'm trying to think of how maybe to make it sort of reasonable. If you guys want to like yank like engines out of these things to make generators, you could theoretically do that. I don't know if any of you have like the repair skill sort of to actually do it. That's sort of up to the group, to all of you. But again, I think the town's going to be happy with having a windmill backup. But I don't know that I have the firmest answer to that question, just because it's a little bit of a different path than what the quest text was. So we'll see how they do it. That'll sort of just be based on you talking to them. That's how I'll roll that one. I sort of let the NPCs guide the narrative, meaning I just act like I think they would act whenever you give them anything, really. Theoretically, you could probably like lie to every quest giver in the game if you really wanted to, and like you could probably do the equivalent of like a wood nickel or a wood quarter for most of these people, and your sneaker speech test or whatever you want to do would beat it. You could probably confuse any quest giver theoretically. So
Yeah,
just throwing it out there.
The thing you asked us to kill, we killed it totally.
Totally. Here's its head, and you just very much like the Fallout TV series when they, he smashes the other head and tries to hand that in as the reward. You'd absolutely try that. That's what was like making me pause for a second. I was like, 3 generators. I think that's good enough what you found. The uncommon materials being the big parts. But again, I want to call out, you could loot more here if you want. It is probably getting to be dark though. To put that out there too is sort of a little bit of a ticking clock for everybody. Whether you want to spend the night here or not, what did we say? It was going to take you to about 6 p.m. to get down here, and then it's been about another 2 hours. So it is probably getting dark in the game. It's probably about nightfall. 8 to 10 p.m. is the range you're into right now. So you could loot some more still if you want to dig through cars or anything like that. You just let me know, and I'll roll up loot tables. Some of the stuff, again, is heavily searched already. But, yeah, we can either put a pin in it here for tonight, pick up here next time if you want. Whatever you want to do. Got about 15 minutes, 20 minutes about a real-life game time.
That army stuff looked good, Sam. What do you think?
I would like to check it out, but here's my fear, Raven. I fear if we set one of those mines off, it'll cause a train reaction and potentially blow everything to Kingdom Come. But we could give that a shot, and I think that no matter what, I think we should stay here tonight. That we could sleep on that pool table. Wouldn't be too bad.
Well, that like fun, but also bad idea.
A call out that Raven, having worked with mines and such like that recently, you would know that if you wish to disarm these landmines, you could potentially do that. It would be a difficulty 4 test to disarm them, and I believe that is probably using the explosive skill. What's that governed by? I moved my sheet away. That would be explosives, which is governed by perception.
Do you want to give it a shot? If we decide to do it, I think we should try to do this one, because it would give us more room.
Oh, good idea. He's going up to the corner up here, everybody. Whoop. Sorry, let me do that closer for other people at home watching, so we won't.
Okay, I will try.
Okay, good on you, Raven. How close is Sam standing, just so I know? Raven, we know you're going up to it.
I'm getting behind this big giant truck.
Oh, smart man. That's what I like to see. Frag mines, he searches. Okay, don't worry about why I'm pulling that up, Raven. Great. Oh, she's going for that one. Okay. She's going... I don't know, but that's fine. Okay, Raven. So you're going up. It is a difficulty 4, but it's a difficulty 4 explosives and perception test. But I am willing to work with you on that. I think is the technical one. But if you want to use something like lock picking or something other, we're gonna keep it with the perception skill though. But explosives,
And don't be afraid to pay AP. We will likely need to do it.
yeah, difficulty 4, Raven. You could get toasted. What if she dies? Never mind. Hey, at least that explosive trailer is not behind you.
Like if you want to try to pay him to get us full, get yourself like 3 extra die, I really think that you should. That's a huge gambit. 4 die. That's like that's a really hard one.
Let's pay the devil.
Ooh, okay. So you could give me, that would be 2 extra AP into my pool, and you guys have a full pool. And if you're going to expend all of them, Raven, that would be using...
What do I roll?
Well, it'll be, let's see. Yeah, explosive and perception test, Raven. It's a difficulty 4. So if you're going to spend your entire pool, you'll be rolling 5 dice total to try and knock out that landmine there. Technically, there'd be an extra die in that. She's got 3 successes.
You have luck.
Yeah, you got luck. You got luck.
Please. Please use it.
You got luck, Raven. 5. That counts. That's 4. She does have a complication under there as well, which I think is very minor at that. So, Raven, you go over there, and with expertise and just a little bit of fright in your heart as your blood runs cold as you think you hear it start to trigger. But with that, Raven, you collect yourself a disarmed fragmentation mine, and the only penalty to you is that as you're digging this up and you're trying to get this out of here, you scrape your arm and receive 1 point of damage to your whatever dice roll we get first. Nope, that's to your torso. That doesn't mean whatever. Fuck it. To your torso, you get 1. You kind of catch your clothing on that as you're pulling out of there. I assume you actually have 1 point of damage resistance. So at that, you have negated the damage to you. It is just cosmetic. A bit of the armor rip caught on the barbed wire there. Which I will say actually is a bit of a trade-off in that you being that close to it, you do get, even though it is turning quite dark here, you do get to see that there are some medical supplies over there. Looks like some grenades. And there's also a Jeep with a mounted turret on the back of it, which seems really cool and not like something I had seen before. Sorry, audience. That's what I was referencing right here. Raven's right there.
Do get to keep the mine.
Yes, you can keep the mine.
Are we going to have trouble getting over that barbed wire?
Probably do need to roll some sort of test unless you have something to cut it with. I don't know that any of you have anything like a wire cutter tool sort of deal. I don't know that anyone has, and I would be pretty loose in my definition of that, but I think you guys would probably be able to get over that fairly well. If anyone has any real like smart idea, like if there's like a board or something you want to kind of roll up over that, or those are cement barricades there and steel and stuff that's right next to it. So none of those are like, but yeah, I'd say difficulty.
Gas station checked back.
Well, yeah, there's probably trash and boards and stuff in the back. Oh, there's a build.
Just yeah, on the basis that there were some tools over here, in here, I was gonna maybe check around and see if there was some just snippers, and then maybe we still have to do a check to get over the tires. I just wanted to snip them for fun,
Sure.
for the RP purpose.
Yeah, you could find a pair of
look around.
snippers in there, no problem, inside the gas station.
Well, I mean, heck, I had to cut the wire to begin with.
That's right.
So technically, I had one.
That's right. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't even ask what you're doing that with. Sort of part of me imagined you did it with a knife there. Go for it. Snip away. Sam, you probably have some experience clearing stuff like this yourself.
We'll snip them, and then we'll see how we get over the At least we'll just take a tumble as opposed to getting sliced up.
That's right. You can both roll an agility and athletics. Oh, sorry. What am I looking at here? Athletics and strength. Pardon me. Athletics and strength. Difficulty 1, by the way. Very good, Mac. Put 1 point back into the pool. Oh, she spent all the pool, though, right? So the pool's, like, way down. It's to 0, I think. Right? I'm not stealing anything. Yeah, that 4 was from earlier. So now, Sam, you put 1 back in, and then Raven, whenever you roll your athletics and strength, we'll see what you get. Because it's a difficulty 1. You cut that down. Very simple. And then let her roll that, and then you guys can loot away if you want. Nice. You climb over that. No problem, Raven. You don't face plant on the ground like a GTA guy jumping out of a vehicle. You make it over in order. Sam, you recover 1 stim pack, and you recover a first aid kit. I'm making sure that's a real thing and not in my head. I'm pretty sure it is. What do they do, though?
It is. It was one of the first things I got in this game, actually, I believe.
Ah. Heal up to 2 HP upon, I guess that doesn't, upon succeeding at the first aid action. Okay, so they benefit you. Bandages, antiseptic, spray, and other tools used for treating and binding injuries in the field. First aid kits often include stim packs and RadAway, but these items are used and tracked separately. Does that mean you guys should get those as a result? I'm going to say you do. I'm going to say you get the stim pack that's there, you get the first aid kit, and Sam, you get a RadAway. Bam. Am I being too nice tonight? Who knows? Not really. I mean, I feel like that's fair. Also, there is that case with a weapon in it if we want to maybe make a roll specifically on a weapon table. I'm treating this list very literally. Also, an army helmet, maybe, too. I'm just making sure I'm not giving you guys, like, some sort of god tier, like, whatever. Maybe.
I go to check out this grenade to see if it's a live grenade or a dummy grenade.
Real live grenade.
No, I go ahead and I grab it and I give it to Raven. Here you go. I know you like making things go kaboom.
I'm actually gathering this list for you guys, so you'll have this all. I think you can have that combat helmet, which is, it's in Notion. It is 2 physical damage resistance, 2 energy damage resistance to your head. It is a rarity 2 item, so I don't feel like that's too OP or anything like that. Plus, you guys came through here. This could have been a big old fight, by the way, but you guys did this all with actually benefiting your relationship tonight with the free radicals over there. That's really cool. I did not, of course, plan for any of that to happen tonight. I had no idea this was the direction you guys were headed. This is very surprising to me. I like this. Really shaped up as we got here. I like the whole mission that you guys embarked upon. Weapon.
I remove my army helmet that I'm wearing, and I look at it. It's battered and torn. It's got claw marks from the Wendigo. You know, it's got shrapnel, all sorts of just battered and tattered. And I go ahead and I strap it to my backpack, and I pick up this combat helmet, and I place it on my head.
Heck yeah. Okay, last little bit of an item I really want to pull is, again, what are we choosing from a weapon list? Is everyone here using... this is actually a good check-in for me. So Raven's bow is a rarity 1. Sam, you have a combat shotgun, is that right? That you use as your primary. What is that rarity? Combat shotgun is a rarity 2. Okay. What other rifles you guys have? Like a hunting rifle or combat rifle?
I have a combat rifle. I believe she has a hunting rifle.
So the combat rifle is rarity 2. So is the hunting rifle. We're okay, sure, whatever. Oh, interesting. Oh,
Have a hunting rilf.
Hunting rilf. Yeah, we're gonna say another rarity 2 weapon is in this chest here. I'm actually looking for something that feels a little bit appropriate, so I'm not giving you guys some junk weapon that you won't use. What would an army guy have in there? I will just throw it out there. Yeah, I'll leave this open to the gang here. Just sort of free that you get to choose this one for tonight. Could either be a 44 pistol, an assault rifle, or what was the third one? 9mm pistol. I don't know if anyone has a preference out of those 3 that you might find in this chest tonight. But I wanted you guys to have something that you're going to use instead of, well, I mean, you can sell it too, but instead of giving you a laser rifle. I think an assault rifle is probably the most likely to be in there, given this layout.
I was going to say I wouldn't. I think assault rifle would be nice.
Assault rifles have the burst damage effect. The attack may hit an additional target within close range. It is a medium range weapon, 2-handed, and it uses 5.56.
I have a 44 Mac if you're, interested in it. Ooh, I don't know. I don't want to be the judge of it, but I think an assault rifle would be nice. We've never found one of those before.
If you guys really want, I could roll and throw it up to the gods. To be fair, I think that chest is probably the size of a rifle, not a pistol. But that's just my opinion. I'm being ultra literal.
Let's call it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's
also, we'll roll for whatever's in that chest, and that's the very last of it tonight. We're just going to roll to see what's inside of it, and then you guys will have gotten I feel like a decent amount of loot from here, and if you disagree, we can add more loot next week, because I didn't really have a huge, plan. We'll say that they very much looted the interior, was kind of the vibe there. Sort of what they told you, even, that they were, I mentioned at the time, oh, you have that floor safe you can hit up, too. Create location, sorry. Whoop, fast. Tiny, these are gonna both count as tiny for a safe, that's right. We'll do a military safe, and this thing is completely untouched. So create. You guys only have 1 AP in here, so just to keep it quick, I'm not gonna incorporate that AP just for the sake of, yeah. Okay, I'm actually just going to write this in the list here. You get 0.38, 38 ammo. Okay, and... Okay, so in there was 13 rounds of 38 ammo, and you got 2 boxes of Instamash in there. Also, there is
too shabby.
Casual clothing. On top of that, do I want to re-roll this in a different way? Reset. We're going to loot that interior. Can you, Sam, roll just difficulty 1 for that chest back there. Lock-picking test for me.
Perception as the basis.
Yes, that should be correct. Sorry, I had to think about that. Great. You open that.
Goodness. That's a fluke.
You got in there, though. That's what matters. And it has 1 RadX in there, 12 bobby pins, quantities of... Oh, and you get junk out of there, too. What do we get? Really? 25 pieces of junk out of there? Well, whatever. You know what, Sam? Because as an IOU for my confusion earlier, you get 18 common materials out of there because the game says so, and also because I don't like to be wishy-washy from earlier. So there's your updated list from the place. Again, to anyone watching at home, they found a combat helmet, a frag grenade, first aid kit, stim pack, RadAway, 13 rounds of 38 ammo, 2 Instamash, casual clothing, and that was all in the military area. And then inside, behind the counter, found a thing of RadX, 12 bobby pins, and 18 common material, which probably took the shape of pre-war money. So lots and lots of pre-war money shoved in that little under-the-counter sort of safe. Or, probably a day's worth of business. It probably seems like more money than it is because... it cost you like $100 to fill up. Oh, wait, that's real life. It costs $100 to fill up your tank. Never mind. It costs like $300 to fill up your tank in Fallout. Sorry, I got confused for a second between the real world.
Yeah, it's about like, $38 a gallon or something for the coolant.
Jeez. Thank you for playing with me tonight, to Sam and to Raven. To you two, Raven's very short on time, but considering it is nighttime, you guys could set up a camp here if you'd like, and we could do that right before you go out on the road, because Raven, meaning before Raven leaves, because she's got that perk into it. Actually... For what it's worth, I don't even know how to really use this calculator when you're building with such a strong campsite to begin with. You know what? To save Raven time, because I know she needs to leave, we're just going to say, if you're interested, you guys can choose this now, though, if you want to spend the night here. These are considered very defensible positions, both in the TTRPG and I think generally in Fallout. So... there's kind of the rooftop if you guys want to get up there and do security throughout the night. But, this is your little spot. Or I'm sort of gesturing back to the place that Sam's in, the actual Red Rocket station. So if that sounds reasonable to you two, or you don't have to rest. You could just pick up next time that you guys stayed awake and, you could continue trekking throughout the night. It is worth noting, though, your travel here did incur some fatigue and stuff like that.
I want to rest up because I'd like to maybe try to hit those Jeeps tomorrow and maybe just throw a repair out there and see if we can scrounge anything from them to try to build those generators.
Sam, we should set up camp for the night. The building looks safe for the night.
That's not a bad idea.
Sounds very reasonable to me. Again, I can look at some of those sort of things. Most of these campsites, though, that I was looking at are ones that you would be creating out in the wilderness. And this one probably has a lot of those features already to it. I guess I could do a roll, though, for next time to see if you have any visitors in the nighttime. Gotcha. Okay, Dice. Thank you for that information. Okay. Well, whether or not someone comes to pay you a visit will appear in the next episode. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you again to our players. To anyone watching this at home, if you haven't already done so, hit like and subscribe. If you're over on YouTube, check out the podcast. We put this into audio format up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the rest. We have our Substack, which is where we kind of combine all this information. I try and post pictures of the maps. I post some little things of the cultists they ran into last time. I just try and make it a nice little audio visual sort of layout. That is, all of this is at tftfallout.com. Tales from Tomorrow, fallout.com, tftfallout.com. Very nice, very simple. And then across the banner on the top of the page is all the links to Twitch, to YouTube, to Discord, to all the rest. Oh, Mac, I tried. Mac barely made it tonight. Sam really did the big one. I think, Raven, you would have survived the frag mine, probably. What's the worst it could have done to you? But instead, the worst it could have done was six D6s worth. What would Raven, dice, what would Raven have gotten? Oh my gosh, only two damage. Well, we'll say they're being kind to you in hindsight. The dice, they don't want to waste their goodness right now. You could have gotten away with 2 damage, but instead you walked away with a landmine, so make sure you add that to your inventory. You've disarmed that, and you got to keep that one. Yeah, or set off a chain explosion. You guys can do what you want with the vehicles that are here next week. If people want to spend more time scrounging and looking, I will add, it is later into the night now. It is probably about midnight, just as we're leaving here. Maybe I should make a note of that somewhere, I don't know. But it is midnight as we're departing, because extra time you gathering those materials over there after you did the landmine and all that, looking through boxes and all the rest, adds a little bit of time to it. Something close to midnight. So I'm happy with it here. Any last outstanding questions from the party? Anything I need to be aware of?
I'm good to rest up.
Good. Okay. Well, to everyone at home, thank you for watching. We will be back next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch to do the pre-show that is Overseer Kyle, so twitch.tv/Overseer Kyle. We kick off at 8 p.m. The official show, and then we do that on YouTube at 8 p.m. as well, so it multi-streams at that time. Like I said, Substack has all the links you could need. Raven's putting things in chat saying sweet dreams. Okay, everybody, we will catch you next time. Good night, good luck, and stay safe out there in the wasteland. Okay, gang, and we are offline.